Hello guys, welcome to Scion What If. So in this video, we will see what if Goku absorbed every villain he killed. If you enjoy these kinds of stories, don't forget to show us some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Your support means the world to us. Now, let's start the story. Chapter 1, Origin of Absorption. Goku's fist connected with King Piccolo's stomach, ripping through flesh and bone. The ancient demon king's eyes bulged in shock as he realized this was truly his end. Impossible. King Piccolo choked out. A mere child, defeating me. Blood spattered across Goku's face as he withdrew his arm. The boy warrior didn't gloat or celebrate, his expression remained grim, focused only on avenging Krillin and Master Roshi. As King Piccolo's body began to crumble, something unexpected happened. A wisp of green energy escaped the demon's disintegrating form. Instead of dissipating into the air, it twisted violently toward Goku, who stood frozen in confusion. The energy slammed into his chest, knocking him backward. What the? Goku gasped as the energy pierced his skin and vanished inside him. His body convulsed. Visions flashed through his mind, memories that weren't his own. Ancient battles. Centuries of hatred. Knowledge of techniques he'd never learned. Goku collapsed to his knees, clutching his head. What's happening to me? The pain subsided as quickly as it had come, leaving him dizzy but somehow, different. He staggered to his feet, noticing immediately that his senses felt sharper. The world around him seemed to pulse with new energy signatures he'd never noticed before. That was weird, he muttered, flexing his fingers. Something felt off, but he couldn't place it. With King Piccolo defeated and his egg spawn thing flown off somewhere, Goku had more pressing concerns. He needed to find his power pole and get back to his friends. 3 days later, Goku woke up at Korin's tower with a splitting headache. Yajirobe sat nearby, gnawing on a massive drumstick. Finally awake, huh? Yajirobe mumbled through a mouthful of meat. You've been talking crazy in your sleep. Goku sat up, wincing. What did I say? Something about conquering worlds and revenge. Creepy stuff. Yajirobe shrugged. You feeling okay? You look different. Goku glanced down at his hands. Nothing seemed changed, but he felt taller somehow. Stronger. His mind raced with strange thoughts that didn't feel like his own. I'm fine, he said, but his voice came out deeper, more commanding than usual. Korin approached with a cup of water. You fought well, Goku. King Piccolo won't threaten the world again. Goku took the water, suddenly noticing he knew exactly how far away Korin was standing, down to the centimeter. He could sense the cat's power level with precision he'd never experienced before. What was happening to him? Thanks, Goku said, drinking deeply. I need to train harder. There's still his offspring out there somewhere. Korin's whiskers twitched. That doesn't sound like you, Goku. You usually just want to eat after a big fight. Goku blinked, realizing Korin was right. The words had come from somewhere else, some part of him that wasn't really him. Yeah, I'm starving, he said with forced cheerfulness, pushing away the strange thoughts. Got any food besides what Yajirobe's hogging? Months passed as Goku trained, growing stronger while searching for Piccolo Jr. The changes inside him were subtle at first, flashes of technical knowledge during fights, occasional bursts of strategic insight that seemed beyond his usual instinctual fighting style. He found himself creating new techniques that combined his power with King Piccolo's knowledge. During a sparring match with Krillin at Kame House, Goku extended his arm in frustration, and it stretched, elongating just like King Piccolo's limbs could. Krillin jumped back. Whoa! Since when can you do that? Goku stared at his extended arm in shock. I don't know. I just did it. That's a Demon Clan technique, Master Roshi said, having witnessed the exchange from the porch. Piccolo could stretch his limbs at will. Goku retracted his arm, feeling a cold sweat break out across his forehead. I don't know how I did that. You've been different since you defeated King Piccolo, Rashi said carefully. More focused. Less carefree. I'm still me. Goku protested, but even as he said it, he wondered if that was entirely true. That night, Goku sat alone on the beach, staring at his reflection in the water. For a split second, he thought he saw King Piccolo's face staring back at him. What's happening to me? He whispered. 5 years later, Goku stood facing his long-lost brother Raditz, the truth of his Saiyan heritage still ringing in his ears. Piccolo, the reincarnation of King Piccolo's son, stood beside him in an uneasy alliance. You'll join me or watch your son die, Raditz snarled, holding a crying Gohan by his tail. Something dark stirred in Goku's chest, a cold calculation that wasn't like him. He could feel Piccolo's energy beside him, and somehow, he knew exactly what the Namekian was thinking. It was as if a fragment of King Piccolo inside him recognized his offspring. Special beam cannon, Goku muttered. Piccolo whipped his head toward him. How do you know the name of my technique? I haven't even used it yet. Goku ignored the question, his mind racing through battle scenarios with uncharacteristic precision. I'll hold him. You blast through both of us. What? That'll kill you too. Dragon Balls will bring me back. Do it. Piccolo looked disturbed but nodded. The battle unfolded in a blur of speed and violence. Goku locked Raditz in a full Nelson hold, ignoring the pain as his brother's armor dug into his chest. Do it now. Goku shouted as Piccolo charged his attack. The beam pierced through both Saiyan brothers. As Raditz collapsed, dying, Goku felt that same strange sensation from years ago, energy leaving his brother's body and entering his own. Knowledge flooded his mind, Saiyan culture, battle tactics, memories of a planet he'd never seen. Kakarot. Raditz gasped, watching in horror as wisps of his essence flowed into Goku. What are you doing to me? Goku couldn't answer as pain overwhelmed him. Before darkness claimed him, he heard Piccolo's shocked voice. What the hell was that? In other world, Goku trained under King Kai, pushing his body to new limits. The absorption of Raditz had changed him further. He now understood Saiyan techniques instinctively and found himself thinking in Saiyan battle strategies. Your progress is remarkable, King Kai said, watching Goku master the Kaioken in record time. But your energy, it's becoming complex. Layered. What do you mean? Goku asked, pausing his training. King Kai adjusted his sunglasses nervously. Your key signature doesn't feel purely you anymore. There are other energies mingled with yours. He hesitated. Goku, when you defeated King Piccolo and Raditz, did anything unusual happen? Goku described the absorption phenomenon, relieved to finally tell someone. King Kai's jovial face turned grave. This is troubling. Soul absorption is an ancient and forbidden technique. It shouldn't happen spontaneously. He paced in circles. The beings you absorb become part of you, their knowledge, abilities, even aspects of their personalities. So I've got bits of King Piccolo and my brother inside me? Goku asked, horrified. Yes, and it will happen again if you kill someone with your own hands. You must be careful about who you absorb, Goku. Some souls could corrupt you from within. Goku looked down at his hands. Can I stop it from happening? I don't know, King Kai admitted. This is beyond even my understanding. Just, be cautious. When the Saiyans arrived on Earth, Goku raced back along Snake Way, his mind filled with new determination. The Raditz fragment inside him provided insights into Saiyan weaknesses he could exploit. By the time he arrived on the battlefield, most of his friends lay broken or dead. Only Krillin, Gohan, and a badly injured Piccolo remained facing Nappa and Vegeta. Goku assessed the situation with cold precision, noting Nappa's fighting style with experienced eyes. Dad! Gohan cried out in relief. You're back. Krillin's eyes widened. Goku. Man, you've changed. Goku ignored the comment, focusing on Nappa. So you're the one who killed my friends. Look who finally showed up, Nappa sneered. Prince Vegeta, it's Kakarot. The shorter scion studied Goku with interest. His power level is impressive, but nothing we can't handle. Finish him, Nappa. The battle that followed wasn't even close. Goku moved with fluid precision, combining his natural instincts with King Piccolo's technical knowledge and Raditz scion battle tactics. He disabled Nappa with methodical strikes, breaking the larger scion's back over his knee. Vegeta. Nappa called out, paralyzed on the ground. Help me. Vegeta smirked. You're useless now. He raised his hand toward his fallen comrade. No. Goku intervened, stepping between them. Your fight is with me now. Vegeta lowered his hand, amused. Fine. I'll deal with this trash after I've dealt with you. Goku turned to Nappa, something dark flickering across his face. You killed my friends. Before anyone could react, Goku placed his hand on Nappa's chest and fired a ki blast through his heart. As the life faded from Nappa's eyes, the energy transfer began again, more violent this time. Goku's body spasmed as Nappa's essence flowed into him. Goku! Krillin shouted in alarm. What's happening to you? Vegeta watched with fascination. What is this technique, Kakarot? Goku straightened, his body crackling with new energy as Nappa's power and knowledge integrated with his own. He felt stronger, bulkier, with detailed understanding of elite Saiyan military tactics flooding his mind. Let's fight somewhere else, Goku said to Vegeta, his voice deeper, more commanding. Away from my friends. As they flew to a new battlefield, Vegeta studied Goku with newfound interest. You somehow absorbed Nappa's power. I've never seen a Saiyan with that ability. I'm not just a Saiyan anymore, Goku replied, surprising himself with the words. Their battle shook the landscape. Goku fought with a blend of styles, his own unpredictable movements, King Piccolo's technique, Raditz's speed, and now Nappa's brute force. He pushed his body to new limits with the Kaioken, multiplying his already formidable power. Vegeta transformed into a great ape, towering above the battlefield. Normally, Goku would have sought to cut off his tail and spare his life. But something in him, a growing darkness from the souls he'd absorbed, pushed him toward a different solution. Kaioken times 4. Goku shouted, his body erupting in crimson energy. He flew straight at Vegeta's massive form, focusing all his power into a single punch that pierced through the great ape's chest. Vegeta reverted to his normal form, collapsing with a fatal wound. Impossible, a low-class warrior. As Vegeta lay dying, Goku felt the familiar pull. Part of him wanted to resist. Vegeta was too dangerous, too prideful, too evil to absorb. But another part craved the Saiyan Prince's power and knowledge. What are you doing to me? Vegeta gasped as his essence began flowing into Goku. I don't know if I can stop it, Goku admitted, bracing himself for the influx of Vegeta's powerful, prideful soul. The absorption was more violent than any before. Goku screamed as Vegeta's essence crashed into him, arrogance, royal Saiyan pride, technical brilliance, and raw power all forcing their way into his being. Memories of planet Vegeta, of service under Frieza, of countless genocidal missions flooded his consciousness. When Krillin and Gohan arrived at the scene, they found Goku on his knees, his body trembling. Dad? Gohan approached cautiously. Are you okay? Goku looked up, and for a moment, his expression was unrecognizable, a sneer of pride that belonged on Vegeta's face. I'm fine, he said, his voice fluctuating between his normal tone and something harsher. Just adjusting. Krillin helped him stand. Goku, what's happening to you? First Nappa, now Vegeta, you're absorbing them somehow. King Kai warned me about this, Goku said, struggling to keep his thoughts straight. When I kill someone, I take in part of their soul. Their abilities. Their memories. That's terrifying, Krillin whispered. We need to get to Namek, Goku said, suddenly straightening. We need those Dragon Balls to revive our friends. But you're injured, Gohan protested. Goku waved him off with an imperious gesture that seemed distinctly un-Goku-like. A few days in a healing tank will fix that. Bulma can build one based on Saiyan specifications. Krillin and Gohan exchanged worried glances. How do you know about healing tanks? Krillin asked carefully. Goku tapped his temple. Vegeta knows. So now I know. In the weeks that followed, Goku's personality became increasingly unstable as he struggled to integrate the fragments of three powerful warriors into his psyche. Some days, he was his cheerful self. Other days, he displayed King Piccolo's cunning, Raditz' brutality, Nappa's military precision, or Vegeta's arrogance. Bulma monitored him closely as he recovered in the healing tank she'd built using the Saiyan knowledge he'd provided. His cellular structure is changing, she told Chi-Chi and the others as they gathered in her lab. It's like his DNA is rewriting itself, incorporating aspects of everyone he's absorbed. Will he still be Goku? Chi-Chi asked, tears in her eyes. I don't know, Bulma admitted. Physically, he's becoming stronger than we could have imagined. But mentally. He scared me, Gohan confessed. After he absorbed Vegeta. He didn't look like my dad anymore. Master Roshi stroked his beard thoughtfully. In ancient legends, there are beings who could consume the souls of others to gain power. They were feared above all other creatures, for they became corrupted by the evil they absorbed. Goku isn't evil. Chi-Chi protested. No, Roshi agreed. But he has absorbed significant evil into himself. We must help him maintain his core identity. Inside the healing tank, Goku's consciousness drifted between his own memories and those of his absorbed foes. King Piccolo's centuries of hatred. Raditz's life as a planet purger. Nappa's brutal military campaigns. Vegeta's prideful existence as the prince of a dead race. Somewhere in this mental maelstrom, a new presence made itself known. Fascinating, a voice echoed through Goku's mindscape. I've sought one like you for centuries. Goku's eyes snapped open inside the healing tank. Floating before him was a translucent figure, humanoid but clearly not human, with crystalline skin that reflected light in prismatic patterns. Who are you? Goku asked within his mind. Another memory? I am Siren, the being replied. I exist between dimensions, studying rare phenomena. And you, son Goku, are very rare indeed. You know about what's happening to me. Soul absorption is an ancient ability that appears spontaneously in certain beings across the universe. I've documented 17 cases in the last million years. Siren circled Goku's floating form. Most go mad from the conflicting personalities. Others become drunk on power and destroy themselves. Is there a way to control it? Goku asked desperately. Yes, but it requires tremendous mental discipline. You must establish dominance over the absorbed souls without destroying them. Use their knowledge but don't let their personalities overwhelm yours. Goku concentrated, visualizing his mind as a landscape where four distinct energy signatures competed for territory. They're so strong, he admitted. Especially Vegeta. Of course. The prince had a formidable will. Siren's form flickered. Our connection weakens. I will find you in the physical world when you awaken. Remember, you must remain Goku at your core, or the absorption will consume you. The being vanished, leaving Goku alone with his internal struggle. 3 days later, Goku emerged from the healing tank fully recovered physically, but still battling for mental control. His friends gathered around nervously, unsure which version of Goku they would face. How do you feel? Bulma asked cautiously. Goku stretched, noting how his body moved with new precision and power. Stronger. Different. He smiled, his familiar, warm smile that reassured everyone. But still me. Chi-Chi approached hesitantly. Goku? It's me, Chi-Chi, he said softly, pulling her into a gentle embrace. I'm fighting to stay myself. Gohan ran to his father, hugging him tightly. Dad! I was scared you'd be different forever. I am different, son, Goku admitted, ruffling Gohan's hair. I have these, others inside me now. But I'm learning to control them instead of letting them control me. Master Roshi stepped forward. What are your plans now, Goku? A flicker of Vegeta's smirk crossed Goku's face before he suppressed it. We need to get to Namek. The Dragon Balls there can bring back our friends. Bulma's father is preparing a spaceship, Krillin said. But it'll only be ready in about a month. Goku nodded. That gives me time to train and gain better control. I'll need all the power I can manage for what's waiting on Namek. What do you mean? Bulma asked. How do you know what's on Namek? Goku tapped his temple again. Vegeta's memories. There's someone called Frieza searching for the Dragon Balls there. He's the most powerful being in the universe, according to Vegeta. The room fell silent as this information sank in. Then we need a plan, Bulma finally said. Not just brute force. For once, I agree, Goku replied, King Piccolo's strategic mind asserting itself. We'll need cunning as well as strength to defeat Frieza. As they discussed strategy, none of them noticed the crystalline shimmer in the corner of the room, Siren watching with intense interest. Over the next month, Goku trained differently than ever before. Instead of his usual straightforward approach, he incorporated the technical precision of King Piccolo, the Saiyan battle tactics of Raditz and Nappa, and the elite fighting style of Vegeta. He developed new techniques that combined elements from all four warriors with his own natural talents. More importantly, he worked on mental control, meditating for hours to maintain dominance over the absorbed souls. Some days were better than others. On bad days, Chi-Chi would find him speaking in Vegeta's arrogant tone or displaying King Piccolo's cold calculation. Piccolo, who had been wished back with the Earth's Dragon Balls, observed these training sessions with growing concern. You've changed, Goku, Piccolo said after watching him perform a perfect demonstration of the special beam cannon, a technique he'd never been taught. I know, Goku replied, wiping sweat from his brow. I have your father inside me. Sometimes I can hear his thoughts about you. Piccolo tensed. What does he think? He's proud, in his way. You exceeded his power long ago. Goku's voice briefly shifted to a colder tone. Though he still desires conquest through you. And what do you desire, Goku? Piccolo asked carefully. Goku closed his eyes, visibly struggling with internal voices. To protect Earth. To grow stronger. He paused, fighting against foreign thoughts. Sometimes I hear Vegeta's voice urging me to conquer, to rule. Nappa's voice pushing for destruction. Your father's voice seeking revenge. And how do you silence them? I don't, Goku admitted. I can't erase them without losing their power and knowledge. But I can assert my will over theirs. Some days are harder than others. Piccolo studied him thoughtfully. You've gained incredible power through this, absorption. But at what cost? Before Goku could answer, a crystalline shimmer appeared between them, coalescing into Siren's translucent form. Piccolo immediately dropped into a fighting stance. Who are you? He demanded. Siren, Goku explained, relaxing slightly. He's been visiting me, teaching me to control the absorptions. Siren bowed slightly. The Namekian. How interesting that you cooperate with the offspring of one you've absorbed, son Goku. What do you want? Piccolo growled. To observe. To learn. Siren circled them both. Soul absorption is exceedingly rare. Most beings lack the spiritual elasticity to incorporate other souls without destroying themselves. Is there a way to remove the absorbed souls? Piccolo asked. Siren's crystalline features arranged themselves in what might have been a smile. Yes, but it would likely kill him. The souls are integrated into his very being now. Then what's the point of your observations? Piccolo pressed. Knowledge is its own reward, Siren replied. But I also offer guidance. The journey to Namek will test you, son Goku. Frieza has destroyed entire civilizations. If you absorb him, I'd become too dangerous, Goku finished grimly. Precisely. Some beings should not be absorbed. Their evil is too concentrated, too pure. I'll find another way to defeat him, Goku promised. Siren nodded. Perhaps. I will continue to monitor your progress. The being's form flickered. A final warning, there are others who hunt soul absorbers. They call themselves the soul collectors. If they detect you. More enemies, Piccolo muttered. Just what we need. Not enemies, necessarily. Enforcers of cosmic balance. Siren began to fade. Be careful on Namek, son Goku. The universe watches. After Siren vanished, Piccolo turned to Goku. Can you trust that being? Goku shrugged. I don't know. But his advice has helped me maintain control. Just remember who you are, Piccolo said seriously. The universe needs Goku, not some composite being made up of absorbed villains. I'm trying, Goku promised. The day of departure arrived. The spaceship Dr. Brief had constructed stood gleaming in the capsule courtyard. Goku, Krillin, and Gohan prepared to board, saying their goodbyes to friends and family. Chi-Chi held Goku's face between her hands. Come back to me, she whispered. Come back as yourself. I will, he promised, kissing her deeply. I'm getting better at controlling it every day. Nearby, Bulma handed Krillin a small device. This will monitor Goku's brainwaves, she whispered. If his patterns shift too dramatically away from baseline, it means the other personalities are taking over. Krillin nodded grimly. What do we do if that happens? There's a sedative in this injector. It should suppress all brain activity enough to let Goku reassert control. Bulma bit her lip. Just, be careful. We don't know what he's capable of now. As they boarded the ship, Goku paused at the entrance, looking back at Earth, the planet he'd always protected with pure intentions and a clear heart. Now, with the souls of enemies swirling inside him, his mission felt different. More complex. Darker. Namek, he whispered, Vegeta's memories of the planet flashing through his mind. And Frieza. The ship's engines roared to life, propelling them toward a confrontation that would test not just Goku's new powers, but his very identity. During the journey to Namek, Goku trained in the ship's gravity chamber, pushing his body far beyond normal limits. With Vegeta's knowledge, he increased the gravity to levels that would have crushed him before. 500 times Earth's gravity, Krillin marveled, watching through the window as Goku performed complex kata. That's insane. Gohan nodded, both proud and concerned. He's so much stronger now, but sometimes he looks at me like I'm not his son. Like he doesn't recognize me. Your dad's fighting a battle inside his own mind, Krillin explained. All those people he absorbed are trying to influence him. Is my real dad winning? Gohan asked quietly. Krillin didn't answer. Inside the gravity chamber, Goku battled not just against the crushing pressure, but against internal voices growing louder by the day. Destroy Frieza and take his place, Vegeta's voice urged. Use the Dragon Balls to resurrect our race, added Nappa. Conquer Earth when we return, whispered King Piccolo. Shut up. Goku shouted, powering up until his aura cracked the reinforced walls of the chamber. I'm in control here. The door slid open, revealing Gohan's worried face. Dad? Who are you talking to? Goku powered down immediately, forcing a smile. Just, motivating myself, son. Come in. Let's train together. Gohan entered cautiously. Mom says I should keep an eye on you. Make sure you're still, you. Smart woman, your mother, Goku said, ruffling Gohan's hair. I'm still me, Gohan. Just with some extra passengers trying to backseat drive. They began training together, Goku teaching Gohan techniques drawn from all four absorbed warriors plus his own style. The boy learned with remarkable speed. You're a natural, Goku said proudly after Gohan mastered a complex sequence. Far stronger than I was at your age. Really? Gohan beamed. Absolutely. You have potential beyond anything I've ever seen. Goku's expression darkened slightly. Vegeta would say your mixed blood makes you stronger than a pure Saiyan. Is Vegeta talking to you right now? Gohan asked hesitantly. Goku nodded. He's always there. All of them are. But I'm learning to use their knowledge without letting their personalities surface. What's it like? Having them inside you? Goku sat cross-legged on the floor, motioning for Gohan to join him. Imagine having 4 extra people living in your head, all shouting advice and opinions. Sometimes they agree, making their voice stronger. Sometimes they fight among themselves. That sounds terrible, Gohan said. It's not all bad. I understand things now I never would have figured out on my own. Saiyan history. Advanced fighting techniques. Strategic thinking. Goku smiled wryly. I was never much for planning before. Mom says you use bigger words now. Goku laughed, genuinely laughed, sounding like his old self. Yeah, I guess King Piccolo had a better vocabulary than me. Their moment of normality was interrupted when the ship's alarm blared. Krillin's voice came over the intercom. Guys. We're approaching Namek, but we're not alone. There are multiple power signatures, and one of them is off the charts. Frieza, Goku said grimly, Vegeta's fear surfacing in his mind. We need to hide our power levels when we land. Namek's sky glowed an eerie green as their ship touched down in a remote area. Goku stepped onto the alien soil, immediately assessing the strategic situation through Vegeta's military experience. Frieza's ship is approximately 200 kilometers north, he said, pointing. Multiple power levels scattered across the planet, his soldiers hunting Dragon Balls, most likely. Krillin stared at him. How can you tell all that just by sensing ki? I couldn't before, Goku admitted. It's Vegeta's training. He could identify specific energy signatures from vast distances. They established a small base camp, concealing the ship as best they could. Goku's demeanor had changed subtly, more serious, more focused, with none of his usual carefree attitude. We need information before confronting Frieza, he said, pacing like a general planning battle strategy. Gohan, you're the least threatening. You and Krillin scout the nearest Namekian village. I'll head toward Frieza's ship to assess his forces. Splitting up seems dangerous, Krillin protested. Tactical necessity, Goku replied in a tone that brooked no argument, Nappa's military command voice slipping through. We need intelligence from multiple sources. After they departed, Goku moved with blinding speed toward Frieza's energy signature, suppressing his own power to avoid detection. As he traveled, Vegeta's memories of the tyrant flooded his mind, the casual cruelty, the transformations, the planet-destroying power. He destroyed our homeworld, Vegeta's voice reminded him. Made me his slave. For once, Goku didn't suppress the voice. Tell me everything about how he fights, he whispered. I need to know his weaknesses. His tail, Vegeta's voice supplied. He uses it as a weapon, but it's vulnerable at the base. His left eye tracks slightly slower than his right. In his first form, his speed is his weakest attribute. Goku absorbed this information, combining it with his own battle instincts to formulate strategies. He slowed as he approached a small ridge overlooking Frisia's massive ship. Soldiers in familiar Saiyan armor patrolled the perimeter. Using King Piccolo's stealth techniques, Goku crept close enough to observe without being detected. And there he was, Frisia himself, standing outside his ship. Even in his first form, the tyrant radiated malevolent power that made Goku's skin crawl. Beside him stood his top lieutenants, Zarbon and Dodoria. Another village destroyed, Lord Frisia, Zarbon reported smoothly. 5 Dragon Balls collected so far. Excellent, Frisia replied, his high-pitched voice at odds with his deadly reputation. Soon immortality will be mine, and not even those Super Saiyan legends will matter. The mention of Super Saiyan caused Vegeta's consciousness to surge within Goku. Images flashed through his mind, ancient Saiyan legends of golden warriors with godlike power. The birthright of our race, Vegeta's voice whispered urgently. The power Frisia fears above all else. Goku clutched his head, fighting to maintain control as Vegeta's consciousness pushed forward. Not now, he hissed. Stay back. Too late, he realized he'd spoken aloud. Frisia's head snapped in his direction, red eyes narrowing. We have a visitor, the tyrant said softly. Zarbon, be a dear and bring them to me. Goku cursed himself for the lapse in concentration. As Zarbon launched into the air, Goku made a split-second decision. Fighting now, alone, would be suicide according to Vegeta's memories. He needed to regroup with Krillin and Gohan. Using instant transmission, a technique he developed by combining his own ki control with King Piccolo's spatial awareness, Goku vanished just as Zarbon reached his position. He reappeared near a faint energy signature he recognized as Krillin's, finding his friend and son hiding behind rock formations as Frisia's soldiers ransacked a Namekian village. Dad! Gohan whispered in relief. We need to move, Goku said tersely. I've been spotted. As they retreated to safer ground, Goku briefed them on what he'd seen. Frisia already has 5 Dragon Balls. We need to find the remaining 2 before he does. The Namekian said the Grand Elder has 1, Krillin reported. They gave me directions before they were killed. Goku nodded, forming a plan using the combined strategic thinking of his absorbed foes. We split up. Krillin, you and Gohan go to this Grand Elder. I'll create a diversion to draw Frisia's forces away from you. That's too dangerous, Krillin protested. Frisia's power level is insane. I'm not planning to fight him yet, Goku said. Just distract his men while you secure the Dragon Ball. What Goku didn't say was that part of him, the Vegeta part, desperately wanted to confront Frisia. To avenge the Saiyan race. To absorb the tyrant's incredible power. Yes, whispered King Piccolo's voice. Imagine our combined strength with Frisia added to the mix. We would be unstoppable. No, Goku muttered, earning concerned looks from Krillin and Gohan. That's not the plan. As Krillin and Gohan departed for the Grand Elders, Goku implemented his diversion. Using techniques from all 4 absorbed warriors, he launched guerrilla attacks on Frisia's scattered forces, appearing, striking with precise lethality, and vanishing before reinforcements arrived. With each soldier he killed, Goku absorbed their essence, gaining fragmented knowledge of Frisia's operations. These minor absorptions were easier to control than the major ones, adding to his tactical understanding without significantly altering his personality. After eliminating a dozen soldiers, Goku achieved his goal. Frisia dispatched Zarbon and Dodoria to different sectors to hunt down the attacker, drawing them away from the Grand Elder's direction. What Goku hadn't anticipated was a familiar energy signature approaching rapidly from space. Vegeta, he whispered in confusion, feeling the Saiyan Prince's essence stir within him. But how? I was wished back, the Vegeta inside him realized. Those fools used the Earth's Dragon Balls to resurrect everyone killed by Nappa and, by me. The implications hit Goku hard. If Vegeta had been resurrected, did that mean his absorbed essence was just a copy? Or had part of the prince remained within Goku while the rest was reborn? He had no time to consider the metaphysical questions as a space pod crashed into Namek's surface several kilometers away. Minutes later, he sensed Vegeta's power level moving purposefully across the landscape, heading directly toward one of Frisia's search parties. Goku masked his energy and followed, curious to see how the real Vegeta compared to the version inside him. The scene he found was carnage. Vegeta tore through Frisia's men with savage efficiency, his face contorted with rage and fear. This Vegeta was different from the confident prince in Goku's memories, more desperate, more unhinged. After dispatching the last soldier, Vegeta suddenly froze, turning slowly to stare directly at Goku's hiding place. "I know you're there, Kakarot," he called out. "Your energy signature is changed, but I'd recognize it anywhere." Goku stepped into view, studying the prince with fascination. "Vegeta. You're alive." Obviously, Vegeta sneered. "No thanks to you. I woke up on Earth with memories of you somehow, consuming my essence." His eyes narrowed. "What did you do to me?" "I absorbed part of you when you died," Goku explained. "Your knowledge, your memories, your power became part of me. Is that why you feel different? Stronger?" Vegeta took a step closer, studying Goku intently. "You're not the same simpleton who defeated me on Earth." "I've changed," Goku acknowledged. "I have you inside me. And King Piccolo. And Raditz. And Nappa." Vegeta's expression shifted from anger to fascination. "You're collecting souls. Building power." A calculating look crossed his face. "And now you're here for Frisia." "I'm here to stop him from getting the Dragon Balls," Goku corrected. Vegeta laughed harshly. "Don't lie to me, Kakarot. I know how absorption works. You crave more power now. Stronger souls to add to your collection." He pointed a gloved finger at Goku's chest. "And what soul is stronger than Frisia's?" The accusation hit uncomfortably close to home. Part of Goku, a growing part, did hunger for Frisia's power. "That's not why I'm here," Goku insisted, but his voice lacked conviction. "Your eyes betray you," Vegeta said smugly. "I can see myself in them. My ambition. My pride." He crossed his arms. "So, what's your plan? How do we kill Frisia?" I want revenge for my people. You want his power. Our goals align." Vegeta smirked. "Besides, I'm curious to see what I've become inside you. How much of the prince remains in that mix of souls you're carrying?" Before Goku could respond, a massive energy spike erupted from the direction of Frisia's ship, rage and power unlike anything he'd felt before. "He's found out about the attacks," Vegeta said grimly. "Time to move. The Grand Elder has a Dragon Ball, yes?" Goku nodded. "Krillin and my son are heading there now. Then we follow. We need those wishes." Vegeta launched into the air. "Coming, Kakarot? Or has absorbing my essence made you a coward?" The taunt stirred something in Goku, pride that wasn't entirely his own. With a flare of energy, he joined Vegeta, the two Saiyans streaking across Namek's green sky toward the last hope for standing against Frisia. At the Grand Elder's towering home, Krillin and Gohan had already obtained the Dragon Ball and received power-ups from the ancient Namekian. They were discussing their next move when Goku and Vegeta arrived simultaneously. "Dad!" Gohan exclaimed, then froze at the sight of Vegeta. "But, how?" "Dragon Balls," Vegeta said dismissively. "More importantly, where is the ball the old Namekian had?" "Why should we tell you?" Krillin demanded. "Because Frisia is coming, you idiot," Vegeta snapped. "And none of us can defeat him alone." Goku stepped forward. "He's right. We need to work together." The Grand Elder, Guru, studied Goku with ancient eyes. "Your spirit is complex, warrior. Many souls dwell within you. You can sense that? Goku asked, surprised. I am the father of all Namekians, Guru replied. I sense the fragment of one of my children within you, the one called King Piccolo. He's not in control, Goku assured him. No, but his darkness taints you, as do the others you have absorbed. Guru gestured weakly. Come closer, absorber. Goku approached cautiously. Guru placed his massive hand on Goku's head. Such conflict within you, the ancient Namekian murmured. So much power, so little harmony. Energy began flowing from Guru into Goku. I cannot remove these souls from you, but I can help you better control them. Goku gasped as clarity flooded his mind. The competing voices, King Piccolo, Raditz, Nappa, Vegeta, suddenly became more distinct but less overwhelming. He could access their knowledge while keeping their personalities at bay. Thank you, Goku said when Guru removed his hand. Use this gift wisely, Guru warned. The path of absorption leads to great power but greater isolation. Each soul you take makes you less yourself. Touching, Vegeta interrupted. Now, where's the Dragon Ball? Krillin reluctantly revealed the large orb. We still need one more. Frieza has 5. Actually, he has 6, Vegeta corrected with a smirk. I stole one while his men were distracted by Kakarot's attacks. It's hidden near your ship. Goku felt a surge of approval from the Vegeta fragment within him. This was exactly the kind of strategic thinking the prince excelled at. So we have 2, Frieza has 4, Goku summarized. We need to get the last one from him. And we need to move quickly, added a new voice as Siren's crystalline form materialized beside them. Frieza's rage is drawing attention across dimensions. The soul collectors have noticed. Vegeta whirled toward the being. What is this creature? Siren, Goku explained. He's been helping me understand the absorption process. The Saiyan Prince, Siren observed, circling Vegeta curiously. How fascinating to see both the original and the absorbed copy in the same place. Copy? Vegeta snarled. I am no copy. Of course not. You are the primary consciousness. But a significant portion of your essence remains within Son Goku. Siren turned to Goku. This presents a unique opportunity. With the original Vegeta present, you could potentially return his absorbed essence to him. Would that weaken me? Goku asked. Siren nodded. Significantly. You would lose all knowledge and abilities gained from absorbing him. No, Vegeta interrupted. Keep it. You'll need every advantage against Frieza. His eyes narrowed. Besides, I'm curious to see what I become within you when we defeat Frieza and you absorb him. The casual mention of absorbing Frieza sent a ripple of hunger through Goku, a craving for power that wasn't entirely his own. I don't plan to absorb Frieza, Goku stated, but the words rang hollow even to his own ears. Siren's crystalline features arranged in what might have been concern. That would be unwise. Frieza's essence is corrupt beyond measure. The evil within him would overwhelm even your strongest will. We don't have time for philosophy, Vegeta snapped. Frieza approaches. We need a plan. Goku closed his eyes, drawing on the strategic minds within him. When he opened them, he had their course of action clear. Vegeta and I will confront Frieza directly. Krillin, Gohan, you retrieve the hidden Dragon Ball and bring both to the battlefield. When Frieza is distracted fighting us, use the wishes. To do what? Krillin asked. Wish for my immortality, Vegeta said immediately. No, Goku countered. First wish, bring all fallen Namekians back to life. Second wish, give me the power to defeat Frieza without absorbing him. Vegeta scoffed. Sentimental fool. Immortality is the only sure path to victory. Trust me, Goku said, his voice carrying an authority that silenced even the proud prince. I've seen your memories of Frisia. I know what we're facing. This is the way. As the group finalized their plan, none of them noticed the subtle darkening of the sky, the first sign that beings far more dangerous than Frisia had turned their attention to Namek. Frisia stood amid the wreckage of a Namekian village, tail lashing angrily as Dodoria reported another squad's disappearance. Something is systematically eliminating my men, the tyrant hissed. Find it and destroy it. There's no need to send your lapdog looking for me, Frisia, Vegeta's voice called out as he descended from the sky. I'm right here. Frisia's eyes widened slightly. Prince Vegeta. How unexpected. I was informed you died on Earth. Reports of my death were premature, Vegeta smirked. And yet you dare return to me without the mission completed? Frisia's voice was deceptively soft. Such insubordination cannot stand. I no longer serve you, Vegeta declared. I've come to watch you die. Frisia laughed, a chilling sound. Bold words from a monkey who couldn't even conquer a backwater planet. His eyes narrowed. Who's been killing my men? You. Some of them, Vegeta admitted. But mostly him. On cue, Goku landed beside Vegeta, his face set in grim determination. Frisia studied the newcomer with mild interest. Another scion. How quaint. I thought I'd been quite thorough in my extermination. This is Kakarot, Vegeta said. Though he calls himself Goku now. He's the one who defeated me on Earth. Defeated you? Frisia raised an eyebrow. Now I'm actually intrigued. A scion stronger than the prince himself? He tapped his scouter, then frowned. Curious. His power level is fluctuating wildly. Goku stepped forward, channeling Vegeta's hatred, Nappa's military bearing, and King Piccolo's intimidating presence. You destroyed planet Vegeta. Enslaved the survivors. Committed genocide across the galaxy. Guilty as charged, Frisia replied with a small bow. Though I'm surprised a low-class scion would care about ancient history. I carry the memories of those you've wronged, Goku said, his voice deeper, more resonant. Frisia's scouter beeped rapidly as Goku's power level continued to spike unpredictably. What are you? The tyrant asked, genuine curiosity in his voice. Your end, Goku replied simply, and attacked. The battle erupted with ferocious intensity. Goku moved with a fluidity that combined his own natural talent with the technical precision of his absorbed foes. Vegeta joined the assault, the two scions coordinating with uncanny precision, as if they shared a mind. Frisia, even in his first form, repelled their attacks with casual ease. Is this really the best the surviving scions can offer? He taunted. Pathetic. Vegeta unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, creating cover for Goku to circle behind Frisia. The tyrant deflected Vegeta's attacks while simultaneously blocking Goku's punch with his tail. I'm almost disappointed, Frisia sighed. I expected more from warriors with such bravado. Then maybe you should stop. Holding back, Goku suggested, grabbing Frisia's tail. Using King Piccolo's knowledge of pressure points, he squeezed a specific spot that sent pain shooting up the tyrant's spine. Frisia's composed facade cracked as he howled in unexpected agony. Impudent monkey. He wrenched his tail free and backhanded Goku, sending him crashing through several rock formations. Vegeta used the distraction to land a powerful kick to Frisia's left eye, the weakness Vegeta's memories had revealed to Goku. The tyrant staggered, genuinely surprised. How did you know? Frisia began, then his face darkened. Enough games. I see I'll need to show you true terror. With that, Frisia began to transform, his body cracking and expanding as power erupted around him. Goku rejoined Vegeta, both scions watching grimly. We need to stall until Krillin and Gohan make the wishes, Goku said quietly. He's still toying with us, Vegeta replied. Even in his second form, we're outmatched. As if to confirm this assessment, Frieza completed his transformation and immediately vanished from sight, reappearing behind them. Before either could react, he impaled Vegeta through the chest with his horn. "Still think I'm holding back?" Frieza asked pleasantly as he flung the wounded prince aside. Goku caught Vegeta before he hit the ground, lowering him gently. Blood poured from the wound, fatal without immediate intervention. "Kakarot," Vegeta gasped, clutching Goku's GI. "Don't let him win. Avenge our race." "Save your strength," Goku urged, but he could feel Vegeta's life force ebbing. "Listen to me," Vegeta insisted. "When I die, absorb me again. Take all that remains of my power, my knowledge. Use it to achieve what I never could." Goku hesitated. "Vegeta. Do it," the prince commanded with his last strength. "Become the Super Saiyan." As Vegeta's eyes closed for the second time in Goku's presence, Frieza laughed. "Such melodrama. If it's any consolation, he'll be joining the rest of his monkey race very soon." Rage boiled up within Goku, not just his own, but the collective fury of King Piccolo, Raditz, Nappa, and the fragment of Vegeta already within him. He placed his hand on Vegeta's chest, feeling the prince's essence flow into him once again. This absorption was different, more complete, more willing. Vegeta's consciousness merged with the fragment already inside Goku, creating a unified presence that surged through him with unexpected harmony. Goku stood slowly, his body crackling with power as he completed the absorption. When he turned to face Frieza, his eyes had changed, harder, more calculating, with flickers of teal appearing and disappearing. "What is this?" Frieza asked, genuine uncertainty in his voice as his scouter exploded from the energy readings. "Your worst nightmare," Goku replied, his voice a blend of his own and Vegeta's. "A Saiyan who keeps getting stronger." The sky above them darkened further as the Dragon Balls activated in the distance. Massive lightning bolts split the green sky as the Namekian dragon, Porunga, rose above the horizon. Frieza's head snapped toward the spectacle. The Dragon Balls. No. The distraction gave Goku the opening he needed. Moving faster than he ever had before, he slammed his fist into Frieza's midsection, doubling the tyrant over in genuine pain. "Impossible," Frieza gasped. "No Saiyan is this strong." "I'm not just a Saiyan anymore," Goku replied, launching a combination of strikes that drove Frieza back. "I'm everyone you've ever hurt, everyone you've ever killed. Their power lives in me now." Across the battlefield, Krillin and Gohan stood before the massive dragon, shouting their first wish. Almost immediately, the fallen Namekians began appearing across the planet, restored to life. Frieza roared in frustration. "My immortality!" He launched himself toward the dragon, only to be intercepted by Goku. "Your fight is with me," Goku declared, blocking Frieza's path. The tyrant snarled and began transforming again, his body contorting into his third, more powerful form. "Then die with your worthless planet." As the battle intensified, Krillin and Gohan voiced their second wish to Porunga. Energy swirled around the dragon as it granted their request. Miles away, Goku felt new power flood his being, not absorbed from another, but awakened from within. The dormant Super Saiyan potential that Vegeta had spoken of stirred to life, catalyzed by the dragon's magic and fueled by the rage of 5 souls united in purpose. "What is happening to you?" Frieza demanded as golden light began to emanate from Goku's body. "What are you becoming?" Goku smiled, a smile that contained elements of Vegeta's smirk, King Piccolo's menace, and his own determination. "Something you've always feared." With a primal scream that seemed to come from multiple throats, Goku's hair blazed gold, his eyes settled into a steady teal, and an aura of golden flame erupted around him. But this was no ordinary Super Saiyan transformation. Streaks of green, purple, and blue energy swirled within the golden aura, representing the souls that had contributed to this evolution. "No," Frieza whispered, taking an involuntary step back. "The legend can't be true." "It's true," Goku confirmed, his voice resonating with multiple harmonics. But I'm more than just a Super Saiyan. I'm a Super Absorber. As Frieza transformed desperately into his final form, Goku felt Siren's presence nearby, observing with fascination. The crystalline being hovered at the edge of the battlefield, recording this unprecedented event. "Remember who you are, Son Goku," Siren called out. "Don't lose yourself in the power." Goku nodded, centering himself amidst the maelstrom of energies and personalities swirling within him. At his core, he was still Goku, still the protector of Earth, the loving father, the pure-hearted warrior. But now he carried the strength, knowledge, and yes, even some of the darkness of those he had absorbed. Frieza attacked with the full might of his final form, planet-destroying power unleashed in desperation. Goku met him blow for blow, moving with impossible speed and precision. Where once he might have fought with pure instinct, now he combined it with Vegeta's tactical brilliance, King Piccolo's centuries of combat experience, Nappa's military training, and Raditz Saiyan battle techniques. "How?" Frieza screamed as his attacks failed to penetrate Goku's defense. "How are you this strong?" "Because I learn from every opponent," Goku replied, landing a devastating combination that sent Frieza crashing into a mountainside. "Every battle makes me stronger. Every enemy I defeat becomes part of me." Frieza emerged from the rubble, his perfect form now battered and bleeding. "Then I'll destroy this entire planet. See if your absorption can save you from the vacuum of space." The tyrant raised a single finger, generating a death ball powerful enough to shatter Namek's core. "Die with this worthless rock." As Frieza launched the attack, Goku didn't dodge or deflect. Instead, he reached deep within himself, drawing on the unified power of all he had absorbed. Cupping his hands at his side, he began an incantation, but not the familiar Kamehameha. "Final." He began, drawing on Vegeta's signature attack. "Special." He continued, incorporating Piccolo's energy. "Kamehameha." His own technique joined the mix. "Blast," he finished, combining them all into a new technique that erupted from his hands in a spiraling beam of multicolored energy. The beam tore through Frieza's death ball, dispersing it completely before continuing toward the tyrant himself. Frieza's eyes widened in disbelief as the attack engulfed him. "This can't be happening," he screamed as the energy tore through his perfect form. "I am Lord Frieza. I am immortal." "Not anymore," Goku replied quietly as the attack concluded, leaving Frieza floating broken and barely alive. Goku approached the defeated tyrant slowly. Part of him, the original Goku, wanted to show mercy, to let Frieza live if he promised to never harm another being. But other voices within him demanded justice, vengeance, power. "Finish it," Vegeta's voice urged inside him. "Absorb him and become unstoppable." "Take his power," King Piccolo agreed. "With his strength added to ours, no force in the universe could challenge us." As Goku reached toward Frieza's throat, preparing to deliver the final blow that would begin the absorption process, a crystalline hand caught his wrist. "Consider carefully, Son Goku," Siren warned. "Frieza's evil is concentrated, pure. Absorbing him may corrupt you beyond redemption." Goku hesitated, the conflicting voices within him reaching a crescendo of argument. "Please." Frieza wheezed, his arrogance gone, replaced by naked fear. "Mercy." The word triggered something in Goku, a memory of who he truly was. With tremendous effort, he pushed back against the absorbed personalities demanding Frieza's death and absorption. "No," he said firmly. "I am Goku. I decide who I become." Instead of killing Frieza, he placed his palm on the tyrant's chest, focusing the energy granted by Purunga. Golden light spread from his hand into Frieza's body. What are you doing to me?" Frieza gasped. "Purifying you," Goku replied. "Not absorbing. Healing." The energy coursed through Frieza's body, repairing the physical damage while simultaneously burning away the darkness that had defined him for centuries. When the process finished, Frieza lay unconscious but fundamentally changed, his key signature no longer radiating malice. Goku stepped back, his Super Saiyan aura fading as he exerted control over the absorbed souls within him. I won't take your power, Frieza. But I have taken your evil. It's purged from you now. Siren studied him with newfound respect. Remarkable. You chose healing over absorption. Few with your ability have ever shown such restraint. I want to grow stronger, Goku admitted. But not at the cost of who I am. As Krillin and Gohan approached, joined by the resurrected Namekians, Goku felt a new balance within himself, the absorbed souls still present but now in harmony with his core identity rather than fighting for control. Is it over? Gohan asked hesitantly. Goku nodded, ruffling his son's hair with a smile that was purely his own. It's over. And I'm still me, Gohan. What about him? Krillin asked, pointing at the unconscious Frieza. He's been purified, Goku explained. When he wakes, he won't be the same being who terrorized the galaxy. The Grand Elder approached, supported by several younger Namekians. You have brought peace to Namek, warrior. Though your methods are unprecedented. I'm still learning how to use this absorption ability, Goku admitted. How to control it rather than being controlled by it. A wise approach, Guru nodded. The third wish remains. What would you ask of Porunga? Goku considered the question, consulting briefly with the souls within him before answering. Restore planet Vegeta and its people. Give the Saiyan race a second chance. Vegeta's consciousness surged with emotion at these words, gratitude, pride, hope. For the first time, the prince's essence within Goku felt at peace. As the wish was granted and Porunga vanished, the darkness in the sky intensified rather than clearing. Siren's crystalline form flickered anxiously. They're coming, the interdimensional being warned. The soul collectors. Your battle with Frieza drew too much attention. Let them come, Goku replied, standing tall as the absorbed souls within him aligned in unified purpose. I found balance. I have nothing to hide. The sky split open, revealing figures of impossible geometry and light. The soul collectors had arrived, drawn by the unprecedented events on Namek, and the being at their center who had defied the natural order by absorbing souls without losing himself. A new chapter in Goku's journey was about to begin. Chapter 2, The Perfect Absorption. 3 years passed since the events on Namek. 3 years since Goku had spared Frieza instead of absorbing him. 3 years of learning to balance the competing voices in his head. Goku stood on a cliff overlooking West City, arms crossed as he monitored the key signatures flowing through the metropolitan area. His senses had grown extraordinarily precise. He could identify individual people from miles away, gauge their emotional states, even detect cellular abnormalities that might indicate disease. Anything interesting? Asked a voice behind him. Goku didn't turn. He'd sensed Piccolo's approach long before the Namekian landed. Just checking on things. Keeping tabs. You mean watching for threats? Piccolo moved beside him, his cape billowing in the wind. You've been doing these patrols every day for weeks now. Can't be too careful, Goku replied, his voice carrying hints of Vegeta's perpetual vigilance. Something doesn't feel right. You've been saying that since you returned from New Namek. Piccolo studied him carefully. The others are worried about you. Goku finally turned to face his former enemy. I'm fine. Just evolving. It wasn't entirely untrue. While Goku had resisted absorbing Frieza, the events following Namek had led to several more absorptions, some intentional, some not. The souls within him had grown from 4 to 9, each adding new dimensions to his power and personality. You don't seem fine, Piccolo observed. Chi-Chi says you barely sleep anymore. Gohan mentions you speak in different voices during training. Goku sighed. It's getting harder to maintain the balance. Each new addition makes it more complicated. Perhaps you should stop absorbing people, Piccolo suggested dryly. It's not always a choice. Goku's expression darkened. Sometimes it just happens when I kill an enemy. After Namek, Goku had transported a purified Frieza to New Namek, hoping the peaceful environment would help the former tyrant find redemption. While there, he'd encountered remnants of Frieza's forces seeking revenge. In the ensuing battle, Goku had absorbed 3 more warriors, Captain Jinyu, whose body-switching abilities had integrated perfectly with Goku's absorption powers, Cooler, Frieza's brother who'd attacked seeking vengeance, and a mysterious warrior named Slug, whose Namekian heritage had further enhanced Goku's regenerative abilities. You could choose not to kill, Piccolo pointed out. Goku's laugh held little humor. That's the problem. Sometimes they don't give me a choice. He tapped his temple. And sometimes, the others want blood. The mental toll of balancing 9 distinct personalities, King Piccolo, Raditz, Nappa, 2 versions of Vegeta, Jinyu, Cooler, Slug, and himself, had grown increasingly difficult. Some days, Goku wasn't entirely sure which thoughts were his own. The World Security Council requested another meeting, Piccolo said, changing the subject. After that incident in North City. Goku winced. He'd intercepted a terrorist attack, but in the process, part of downtown had been destroyed. Nobody had died, but the property damage had been extensive. I saved lives. Yes, but your methods are becoming more extreme. The governments of Earth are concerned. Let them be concerned, Goku replied dismissively, Vegeta's arrogance surfacing. They should be grateful. Piccolo raised an eyebrow. That doesn't sound like you. Doesn't it? Goku challenged, then caught himself. Sorry. That was Vegeta talking. Which one? Piccolo asked. Goku smirked slightly. Both, actually. They agree more often than you'd think. The 2 versions of Vegeta inside him, the original fragment from Earth and the more complete essence absorbed on Namek, had gradually merged into a unified presence that often dominated the other absorbed personalities. Bulma's finished the new monitoring device, Piccolo said. She wants you to try it. Goku nodded. The brilliant scientist had been studying his absorption abilities for years, creating increasingly sophisticated technology to help him maintain control. I'll head over there now. As he prepared to use instant transmission, Goku paused, his senses detecting a familiar energy signature approaching Earth, one he hadn't felt in years. Vegeta, he whispered. The real one. Piccolo's eyes widened. Impossible. He left after Namek, said he'd never return. He's coming back. Goku's eyes unfocused slightly as he consulted the Vegeta essence within him. And he's much, much stronger. Capsule Corporation's main lab hummed with activity as Bulma calibrated her latest invention, a neural interface designed to help Goku separate and control the absorbed personalities within him. Hold still, she instructed, attaching electrodes to his temples. This will sting a bit. Goku remained motionless, his discipline perfect, a trait he'd acquired from Captain Jinyu, whose military training had enhanced his already formidable focus. You said Vegeta's returning? Bulma asked, trying to sound casual despite the faint blush on her cheeks. Yes. Should be here within hours. Goku studied her reaction with Cooler's analytical precision. You missed him. Bulma huffed. I'm just scientifically curious about his psion physiology. Your heart rate increased when I mentioned his name, Goku observed clinically. Pupil dilation. Increased blood flow to facial capillaries. Stop that. Bulma snapped, flicking his forehead. It's creepy when you go all detached scientist mode on me. Goku grinned apologetically. Sorry. Cooler tends to analyze everything. Well, tell Cooler to mind his own business. She finished connecting the electrodes. Now, I'm going to activate the interface. It should create a sort of mental landscape where you can interact with the absorbed personalities directly. I already do that, Goku pointed out. Yes, but this will give you more control, like having separate rooms for each of them instead of everyone shouting in the same space. Bulma flipped a switch, and the machine hummed to life. Close your eyes and focus. Goku obeyed, slipping into a meditative state. Within moments, his consciousness descended into a visualized mental landscape, a vast dojo with 9 distinct areas, each reflecting the personality of one of his absorbed entities. King Piccolo's domain was a dark throne room. Raditz occupied a replica of a Scion barracks. Nappa's space resembled a military command center. The merged Vegeta presided over a royal training chamber. Jinyu had created a flamboyant stage. Cooler's region was a sterile laboratory. Slug's area was a twisted parody of the Namekian Elder's home. And at the center, Goku's own space, a simple representation of his childhood home on Mount Paozu. Fascinating, Cooler's voice echoed as his manifestation approached. The woman's technology is primitive but effective. This is much clearer than before, Goku agreed, looking around. It won't last, King Piccolo commented from his throne. Your mate lacks the understanding of soul mechanics necessary for permanent separation. She's not my mate, that's Chi-Chi, Goku corrected automatically. Vegeta's manifestation smirked. The harpy who tolerates your increasingly erratic behavior. How long before she leaves you, Kakarot? The taunt hit a nerve. Chi-Chi had been struggling with Goku's transformations, not just his physical changes, but the personality shifts that made him increasingly unpredictable. Some days he was the loving husband she'd married. Other days, he was cold, analytical, or worse, cruelly dismissive. She won't leave, Goku insisted. She should, Raditz commented. You're becoming too powerful for ordinary humans. Nappa nodded in agreement. Elite warriors don't need family attachments. Their weaknesses enemies can exploit. Enough. Goku shouted, his will reasserting control. This is my mind. You exist here because I allow it. The absorbed personalities fell silent, but their smug expression suggested they knew better. Goku was fighting a losing battle for dominance, and they all knew it. A new presence suddenly intruded, Bulma's voice cutting through the mental landscape. Goku. Wake up. We have a situation. His eyes snapped open, returning to the physical world. Bulma was disconnecting the electrodes with frantic movements. What's wrong? He asked, immediately alert. Vegeta just crashed in the yard, she explained. And he's demanding to see you. He seems unstable. Goku was on his feet instantly, extending his senses. Vegeta's key signature blazed outside, dramatically stronger than when he'd left Earth years ago, but also erratic, almost desperate. Stay inside, Goku instructed, heading for the door. Be careful, Bulma called after him. There's something weird about his energy. The yard outside Capsule Corp had a smoking crater where Vegeta's ship had landed. The Scion Prince stood amid the wreckage, his armor cracked and his expression wild. When he spotted Goku, his face contorted with a mix of rage and something that looked almost like fear. Kakarot. Vegeta spat. What have you done? Goku approached cautiously, sensing instability in Vegeta's ki. What do you mean? Don't play innocent with me. Vegeta stalked forward. You took part of me when you absorbed my essence. Left me, incomplete. Inside Goku's mind, his absorbed Vegeta stirred with interest. It's true, the inner voice confirmed. He's missing what you took. I didn't know, Goku said honestly. I didn't realize the resurrection would be affected by the absorption. Vegeta's hands clenched into fists. 3 years I've searched the galaxy for ways to restore myself. 3 years feeling like a shadow of who I was. His power level fluctuated wildly. Give it back. I don't know if I can, Goku admitted. The absorption isn't something I fully control yet. Then I'll take it back by force. Vegeta lunged forward, transforming instantly into a Super Saiyan, a feat that would have impressed Goku if he weren't busy defending against the prince's furious assault. Goku blocked the initial flurry of attacks without transforming, using the collective battle experience of his absorbed warriors to anticipate Vegeta's movements. Stop this. Fighting won't solve anything. It's the only language you understand. Vegeta landed a powerful kick that sent Goku skidding backward. You've stolen from all of us pieces of our souls to make yourself stronger. The accusation stung because it held truth. Goku had benefited enormously from his absorptions, gaining power and knowledge he could never have acquired on his own. I never asked for this ability, Goku protested, finally transforming into his Super Saiyan state to match Vegeta's intensity. The golden aura that surrounded Goku was unlike a normal Super Saiyan's. Streaks of other colors swirled within it, representing the various absorbed essences that contributed to his power. His fighting style, too, had evolved into something unique, a fluid combination of 9 different martial arts approaches that made his movements unpredictable and devastatingly effective. Vegeta attacked with increasing desperation, but the gap between them had only widened since Namek. Goku's power had grown exponentially with each absorption, while Vegeta, missing a crucial part of himself, struggled to keep up. You're not even fighting me seriously. Vegeta raged as Goku evaded another attack. Stop holding back. I don't want to hurt you, Goku replied, his voice shifting briefly to a colder, more precise tone that belonged to cooler. Your power is insufficient to challenge me. Surrender is the logical choice. Vegeta froze, his expression horrified. What was that? Who was speaking? Goku grimaced, forcing Cooler's influence back. Sorry. Sometimes they speak through me. They? Vegeta's eyes widened. How many souls have you absorbed? 9, counting my own, Goku admitted. You're in there. Twice, actually, once from Earth, once from Namek. This revelation seemed to both horrify and fascinate Vegeta. His attack halted as he stared at Goku with new understanding. You're not just Kakarot anymore, are you? I'm still me. Just, more. Vegeta's power level suddenly dropped as he powered down, a calculating look replacing his rage. Show me. What? Show me what I've become inside you. Vegeta's request was surprisingly earnest. I need to know. Goku hesitated, then nodded. Bulma's developed technology that might help. Come inside. The neural interface had to be recalibrated to allow Vegeta to connect to Goku's mindscape. Bulma worked nervously, constantly glancing between the two Saiyans as if expecting violence to erupt again. This is insane, she muttered as she adjusted settings. Completely unprecedented. If this works, Vegeta will be able to see and interact with the fragment of himself inside Goku's mind. Fragment, Vegeta repeated bitterly. A piece of my soul, trapped in Kakarot's head for 3 years. It's not exactly trapped, Goku explained. More like, integrated. Your knowledge, memories, and abilities became part of me. Vegeta's eyes narrowed. And my royal pride? My birthright? Did you take that too? Inside Goku's mind, the absorbed Vegeta laughed. He wouldn't recognize himself now. We've evolved beyond his limited perspective. We're ready, Bulma announced. Lie down, both of you. The two Saiyans reclined on adjacent medical beds as Bulma attached electrodes to their temples. This will create a shared mental space. Vegeta, you'll be able to see and interact with the version of yourself that exists within Goku. Just do it, Vegeta growled impatiently. Bulma activated the machine, and both Saiyans slipped into a meditative state. Within moments, they stood together in Goku's mental dojo. Vegeta looked around in amazement. This is your mind. It's how I visualize it, Goku explained. Each area belongs to one of the absorbed personalities. Before he could elaborate, the absorbed version of Vegeta stepped forward from his royal chamber. The contrast between the two Vegetas was striking. While the physical Vegeta wore battered armor and carried himself with desperate intensity, the absorbed version radiated serene confidence, dressed in royal Saiyan regalia that the real Vegeta had only seen in childhood memories. So, the absorbed Vegeta said, examining his counterpart with mild disdain. This is what I would have become without Kakarote's intervention. How disappointing. The real Vegeta bristled. You dare look down on me? You're just a fragment, a copy. I am the evolution you could never achieve on your own, the absorbed version replied calmly. Within Kakarote, I have access to knowledge and power you cannot imagine. The combined strength of 9 exceptional warriors, all working in concert. You've forgotten who you are, the real Vegeta accused. The prince of all Saiyans would never accept subordination. The absorbed Vegeta laughed. Subordination? Is that what you think this is? He gestured to the mental landscape. This is symbiosis, fool. We are becoming something greater than any individual could achieve alone. Other absorbed personalities began emerging from their domains, King Piccolo, radiating ancient malice, Raditz and Nappa, wearing Saiyan battle armor, Captain Ginyu, striking a flamboyant pose, Cooler, coldly analytical, and Slug, massive and intimidating. Welcome to the collective, Prince Vegeta, King Piccolo said with mock formality. Your fragment has been most useful. The real Vegeta backed away, overwhelmed by the assembly of former enemies now united within Goku's consciousness. This is an abomination. Kakarote, how can you allow this? It wasn't a choice at first, Goku explained. But I'm learning to work with them instead of against them. They make me stronger. At what cost? Vegeta demanded. Your identity. Yourself. The absorbed Vegeta approached his counterpart. You feel incomplete because you are incomplete. Part of. You evolved here, grew beyond your limitations. He extended a hand. You could join us completely. Surrender your physical form, and I would reabsorb you. We would be whole again. The real Vegeta recoiled. Never. I am Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyans. I will not be consumed. Your pride blinds you to the inevitable, Cooler observed clinically. Individual consciousness is ultimately limiting. Absorption represents the next evolutionary step. Goku intervened, concerned by the direction of the conversation. Nobody's absorbing anyone. Vegeta, I brought you here to understand, not to recruit you. The absorbed personalities withdrew slightly, though their expressions suggested the matter wasn't settled. This is what happens to everyone you absorb, the real Vegeta asked quietly. They become this. They retain their core personalities, Goku explained. But they also evolve, integrate with the others. It's complicated. It's wrong, Vegeta insisted. No warrior should lose himself this way. The mental landscape flickered as Bulma's voice penetrated from outside. Guys. You need to wake up. Something's happening. The shared mindscape dissolved, returning both Saiyans to consciousness. Bulma was frantically removing electrodes, her face pale with concern. There's been an attack in Ginger Town, she explained hurriedly. Some kind of monster. It's absorbing people. Goku arrived in Ginger Town via instant transmission, with Vegeta following under his own power. The scene that greeted them was nightmarish, empty clothes littered the streets, their owners apparently vanished without trace. What could do this? Vegeta wondered, examining a pile of empty clothing. Goku extended his senses, detecting a faint but disturbing energy signature nearby, one that felt strangely familiar yet alien. Whatever it is, it's still here. They found the creature in the town square, hunched over its latest victim, a middle-aged man whose body was rapidly withering as the monster absorbed his essence through its tail. Stop! Goku shouted, powering up instantly. The creature turned, revealing an insectoid face with unmistakably human eyes. When it spoke, its voice carried echoes of multiple people. Son Goku, it hissed, dropping the desiccated husk that had once been a man. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Vegeta stepped forward. What the hell are you? You may call me Cell, the creature replied, straightening to its full height. I am Dr. Gero's ultimate creation. The perfect weapon. Inside Goku's mind, his absorbed personalities stirred with recognition and alarm. Android, Cooler's voice identified. Biomechanical construction, but with organic components. I sense Frieza's cells, added the absorbed Vegeta. And yours, Kakarot. Piccolo's too. Goku's eyes widened. You're made from our DNA. Cell smiled, revealing rows of sharp teeth. Very perceptive. Dr. Gero collected cells from Earth's greatest fighters, and a few visitors, to create me. I contain the genetic advantages of all of you. His gaze focused intently on Goku. But I'm still incomplete. My perfect form requires more. More absorption, Goku realized. Like me. Precisely. Cell took a step closer, his tail twitching eagerly. You and I are similar, Son Goku. Both absorbers. Both evolving beyond our original design. But while you stumbled upon your ability by accident, I was created specifically to absorb. He wants to absorb you, Vegeta warned. Not the other way around. Cell's smile widened. The prince is correct. My programming is quite specific: absorb Android 17, absorb Android 18, and absorb Son Goku, the three ingredients for my perfect form. You're not absorbing anyone else, Goku declared, dropping into a fighting stance. Don't be hasty, Cell cautioned. I'm offering you a unique opportunity. When I absorb you, our consciousnesses will merge. All those personalities you've collected, plus mine, united in perfect harmony within the ultimate being. The offer resonated disturbingly with several of Goku's absorbed personalities. King Piccolo and Cooler particularly found the concept appealing, transcendence through ultimate integration. Don't listen to him, Vegeta growled. He's trying to manipulate you. Cell's tail lashed out with stunning speed, nearly catching Vegeta before Goku yanked him aside. I'm not interested in you, Prince, Cell said dismissively. You're incomplete, remember. Missing the best parts of yourself. Vegeta snarled and transformed into a Super Saiyan, launching an attack that Cell evaded with surprising agility for his bulky form. You're not ready to face me yet, Cell observed, blocking Vegeta's punches with ease. I've absorbed thousands of humans already, but I still need the androids to reach my semi-perfect state before challenging Son Goku. Goku joined the battle, his movements a fluid blend of 9 different fighting styles. Cell studied him with fascination, analyzing and adapting to Goku's techniques even as they fought. Magnificent, Cell commented as he blocked a complex combination. I can see Jinyu's influence in that sequence. And that's pure King Piccolo technique. You know too much about me, Goku replied, landing a powerful blow that sent Cell crashing through a building. The creature emerged, damaged but regenerating rapidly. Dr. Gero was quite thorough in his research. I know everything about you, Son Goku, including your absorption ability. It's why I was programmed to absorb you rather than simply kill you. Cell's tail shot forward again, aiming directly for Goku's chest. Goku dodged narrowly, feeling the appendage graze his GI. Even a scratch would begin the process, Cell warned. My absorption method is more efficient than yours, no need for death, just direct cellular integration. We need to end this now, Vegeta urged, gathering energy for a massive attack. No, Cell said, suddenly backing away. Not yet. I'm not ready for our final confrontation. He smiled enigmatically. Find me when I'm perfect, Son Goku. Then we'll determine which absorber is truly superior. Before either Saiyan could stop him, Cell used Solar Flare, a technique borrowed from Tien's DNA, to blind them momentarily. By the time their vision cleared, he had vanished. Damn it! Vegeta cursed. We should have destroyed him immediately. Goku was oddly quiet, his mind racing with the implications of Cell's existence. He was created to be like me. An absorber. He's nothing like you, Vegeta insisted. He's a monster. And what am I becoming? Goku asked softly. With each absorption, I lose a little more of myself. Sometimes I wonder if there's any of the original Goku left. Vegeta had no answer for that. The World Security Council convened an emergency session following the Ginger Town incident. Representatives from major governments gathered in a secure bunker to discuss two unprecedented threats, Cell and Son Goku. Goku stood before them, flanked by Bulma, representing scientific expertise, and Piccolo, representing the Z fighters. The council members regarded him with barely concealed fear. Mr. Son, began the chairwoman, a stern woman in her 60s. Our intelligence indicates this Cell creature shares your ability to absorb other beings. Is this accurate? Yes, though his method is different, Goku confirmed. He doesn't need to kill his victims first. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. And you believe he was created specifically to absorb you? Among others, yes. He needs to absorb 2 androids and me to reach his perfect form. Which would make him more powerful than you? Asked a military general. Goku considered the question, consulting internally with his absorbed personalities. Possibly. It's hard to predict. What we're trying to determine, the chairwoman continued, is whether we're dealing with one threat or two. Her gaze hardened. Your own absorption abilities have caused considerable concern among world governments. I've only used my abilities against enemies, Goku pointed out. I've never harmed an innocent. Intentions can change, a council member noted. Especially when one's personality is compromised. The implication hung in the air, they feared Goku might eventually become as dangerous as Cell. Not an unreasonable concern, given the darkness he struggled to contain daily. Bulma stepped forward. I've been monitoring Goku's neural patterns for years. While the absorbed personalities influence him, his core consciousness remains intact. For now, the general said skeptically. But what happens when he absorbs someone like Cell? Would there be anything of Son Goku left? Inside his mind, Goku's absorbed personalities reacted differently to the question. King Piccolo found it amusing that humans feared what they couldn't understand. Vegeta's fragment felt insulted that these weaklings dared judge a superior being. Cooler analyzed the political motivations behind their concerns. I'm still me, Goku insisted, pushing back against the internal voices. And I'm your best chance against Cell. Perhaps, the chairwoman acknowledged. But the council requires assurances. We propose tracking technology. No, Piccolo interrupted firmly. Goku isn't a weapon to be monitored or controlled. He's a defender of Earth who deserves your respect, not your suspicion. Easy for you to say, countered a council member. Part of you lives inside him. How do we know you're not influencing this defense? Piccolo growled. That was my father, not me. The debate continued for hours, ultimately reaching an uneasy compromise. Goku would lead the effort against Cell, but would submit to regular psychological evaluations and power assessments. Not ideal, but better than being classified as a threat equivalent to Cell. As they left the council chambers, Bulma sighed heavily. They're scared of you, Goku. They should be, he replied, the words coming from King Piccolo's influence before he could stop them. He shook his head, refocusing. Sorry. I meant, their concerns aren't completely unreasonable. We need to find these androids before Cell does, Piccolo said, changing the subject. If he reaches his perfect form. I know. Goku extended his senses, scanning for unusual energy signatures. The problem is, I can't detect the androids. They don't emit ki like living beings. Bulma, a crystalline voice called, causing them all to turn. Siren materialized nearby, his prismatic form drawing alarmed looks from passers-by. The soul collectors are concerned about recent developments. Two absorbers in proximity creates dangerous metaphysical resonance. Where have you been? Goku demanded. You disappeared after Namek. Observing, Siren replied simply. Your ability has evolved considerably. 9 souls now reside within you, integrating with increasing harmony. Not by choice, Goku said. And now there's Cell. Yes. A manufactured absorber, unprecedented in my research. Siren circled them, his crystalline body refracting light. The doctor who created him tapped into ancient knowledge he could not possibly have understood. What happens if Cell absorbs Goku? Bulma asked worriedly. Catastrophe, Siren answered. Cell's consciousness lacks the spiritual elasticity that allows Son Goku to maintain his identity. If Cell absorbs Goku and his 9 souls, the resulting being would be unstable. Immensely powerful, but fundamentally broken. And if I absorb Cell? Goku asked. Siren hesitated. Almost as dangerous. Cell contains fragmented DNA from many warriors, plus the thousands of human essences he's already absorbed. Adding him to your collection would push your psyche to its breaking point. So we're damned either way, Piccolo concluded grimly. Not necessarily. Siren's form shifted, creating a visual representation of energy patterns. There is a potential solution. If Son Goku can achieve perfect harmony with his absorbed souls before confronting Cell, he might withstand the additional integration. Perfect harmony? Goku repeated. What does that mean? Complete integration without loss of core identity, Siren explained. The absorbed personalities becoming willing extensions of your consciousness rather than competing influences. Inside Goku's mind, the various personalities stirred with mixed reactions. Some, like Raditz and Nappa, resisted the concept of subordinating their identities further. Others, particularly the merged Vegeta and Cooler, saw the strategic advantages. How do I achieve this harmony? Goku asked. The soul collectors have a technique, dangerous, but effective. They call it soul fusion. Siren's form flickered anxiously. I cannot teach it directly, as it would violate my observer status. But I can guide you toward understanding. We don't have time for mystical quests, Piccolo objected. Cell is absorbing people right now. Without soul fusion, defeating Cell may be impossible, Siren insisted. And the consequences of failure extend beyond Earth. 2 unstable absorbers battling could tear the fabric of reality itself. A cold shiver ran through Goku as he sensed the truth in Siren's words. Tell me what I need to do. The hyperbolic time chamber stood ready as Goku prepared to enter. According to Siren, achieving soul fusion required intense meditation and internal confrontation, a process that could take months of undisturbed concentration. 1 day outside, 1 year inside, Mr. Popo explained as he opened the massive door. The chamber has been prepared as Siren instructed. Chi-Chi stood nearby, her expression a mixture of worry and resignation. Since Namek, their relationship had grown increasingly strained as Goku's personality fluctuated unpredictably. Some days he was the loving husband she remembered. Other days, a cold stranger occupied his body. Will this fix you? She asked quietly. Goku took her hands gently. Not fix. Nothing's broken. But it will help me integrate better. Be more stable. I miss the old you, she admitted, tears forming. The simple man I married. He's still here, Goku assured her, his voice purely his own for once. Just, with additions now. This training will help me be more consistently myself. Promise you'll come back to me, Chi-Chi whispered. The real you. Before Goku could respond, Gohan approached, now a teenager and remarkably powerful in his own right. Dad, I want to come with you. Not this time, son. Goku rested a hand on Gohan's shoulder. This journey is internal. I need to face the others alone. But what if Cell finds more androids while you're gone? Gohan pressed. What if he reaches his perfect form? Then we'll deal with it, Goku said confidently. You're stronger than you know, Gohan. If necessary, you could lead the others against Cell until I return. Pride swelled in Gohan's expression, mixed with determination. I won't let you down. The real Vegeta stood apart from the group, arms crossed and expression unreadable. Since their mental encounter, he'd been oddly subdued, training obsessively but avoiding direct interaction with Goku. Kakarot, he called as Goku prepared to enter the chamber. When you emerge, will you still be Saiyan? Or something else entirely? It was a profound question that Goku had been asking himself. Each absorption pushed him further from his original nature. I'll always be Saiyan, he answered. Just, more. Vegeta nodded, seemingly satisfied. Don't lose yourself in there. With final goodbyes exchanged, Goku stepped into the hyperbolic time chamber, the door sealing behind him with a heavy thud. The vast whiteness stretched infinitely in all directions, creating the perfect environment for the spiritual work ahead. Siren had left detailed instructions for the soul fusion process. Goku settled into a meditative position at the center of a complex array of symbols drawn on the chamber's floor. According to the crystalline being, these symbols would help focus his spiritual energy and facilitate communication between his core consciousness and the absorbed personalities. Time to meet the committee, Goku muttered as he closed his eyes and descended into his mindscape. The mental dojo had evolved since his last visit, growing more complex as each personality established deeper roots. When Goku arrived, he found all 9 absorbed entities waiting for him, arranged in a semicircle. We know why you're here, King Piccolo stated without preamble. Soul fusion is a fool's errand. We will not surrender our identities. That's not what I'm asking, Goku replied calmly. Fusion isn't absorption. It's partnership. Some of us have been unwilling participants from the beginning, Raditz pointed out bitterly. Why should we cooperate now? Because Cell threatens all of us, Goku explained. If he absorbs us, none of us will survive intact, not even as fragments of his consciousness. This argument resonated particularly with the strategic minds of Vegeta and Cooler, who understood existential threats. What exactly does this soul fusion entail? Cooler inquired clinically. According to Siren, we create a unified consciousness while maintaining our individual perspectives, Goku explained. Instead of competing for control, we function as specialized aspects of a single integrated being. And you would remain the primary consciousness? Slug asked suspiciously. Yes. This is my body, my life. Goku's tone left no room for negotiation on this point. But each of you would have greater influence in your areas of expertise, without the constant struggle for dominance. The absorbed personalities exchanged glances, communicating in ways Goku couldn't fully perceive. Finally, the merged Vegeta stepped forward. We will consider your proposal, he announced. But first, you must prove yourself worthy of leading this coalition. How? Goku asked. By facing each of us individually, King Piccolo explained with a malevolent smile. Defeating us on our own terms, within our own domains. 9 battles, Jinyu elaborated flamboyantly. 9 victories required for consensus. Goku considered the challenge. Within his mindscape, the absorbed personalities had significant power, perhaps even greater than in the physical world, as this was their home territory. And if I win? He asked. Then we will participate in your soul fusion, Vegeta confirmed. But if you lose even once, we continue as before, competing for influence, undermining your control when it suits us. It wasn't an ideal arrangement, but Goku recognized it was the best offer he would get. These were proud warriors, not willing to submit without proof of his superiority. I accept, he declared. Who's first? Raditz stepped forward, grinning savagely. Family first, brother. The battles within Goku's mindscape stretched across subjective months. Each absorbed personality created unique challenges tailored to test Goku's capabilities and resolve. Raditz transformed their battlefield into the harsh landscape of planet Vegeta, forcing Goku to fight under crushing gravity while addressing unresolved family conflicts. Nappa created a military gauntlet that tested strategic thinking over brute strength. King Piccolo's challenge involved resisting corruption as dark energy constantly bombarded Goku's spirit. The merged Vegeta proved particularly difficult, creating a challenge that combined physical combat with philosophical debate about Saiyan identity and purpose. Jinyu's test involved body-switching mechanics that left Goku temporarily experiencing life through each absorbed personality's perspective. Cooler designed a clinical, emotionless challenge that stripped away Goku's fighting instincts, forcing him to rely on pure analytical thought. Slug's test was perhaps the cruelest. He created illusory versions of Chi-Chi and Gohan who rejected Goku for becoming a monster, testing his emotional resilience. Through it all, Goku's core identity held firm, demonstrating adaptability without losing his essential nature. He emerged from the final challenge exhausted but victorious, having proven himself to all 8 absorbed personalities. "You've won," the merged Vegeta acknowledged as they reassembled in the central dojo. "We will participate in the soul fusion." "Not merely participate," Goku corrected. "Commit fully. Half measures won't work against Cell." "Agreed," King Piccolo said, surprisingly amenable. "Survival requires total integration." Following Siren's instructions, Goku directed the personalities to arrange themselves in specific positions within the mental landscape. The soul fusion ritual began with each absorbed entity surrendering a portion of their individual identity to the collective consciousness. Golden energy flowed between them, creating complex patterns that reflected their unique contributions to the whole. King Piccolo's ancient knowledge, Raditz's Saiyan instincts, Nappa's military discipline, Vegeta's royal pride and tactical brilliance, Jinyu's adaptability, Cooler's analytical mind, Slug's regenerative capabilities, all flowing into Goku's core consciousness while remaining distinctly themselves. The process was agonizing, like being torn apart and reassembled simultaneously. Several times, Goku nearly lost control as the energies threatened to overwhelm his mind. But gradually, painfully, the integration progressed. When it finally completed, Goku opened his eyes to a transformed mindscape. Instead of separate domains, the mental dojo had become a unified space where aspects of each personality existed in harmony. The absorbed entities remained distinct but no longer separate, like instruments in an orchestra rather than competing soloists. "We are one," they spoke in unified voice. Yet many. Goku rose to his feet, feeling fundamentally changed. His consciousness expanded, able to access all 9 perspectives simultaneously without confusion or conflict. He was still primarily Goku, but Goku redefined, an integrated being with depth and complexity beyond his original self. When he emerged from meditation, he discovered 6 months had passed within the hyperbolic time chamber. His body had transformed as well, adapting to accommodate his evolved consciousness. His muscle structure had become more efficient, his ki control more precise. Even his base form radiated power that would have astounded his previous self. The remaining 6 months were spent mastering this new integrated consciousness. Goku developed techniques that combined the specialized knowledge of all 9 entities, King Piccolo's ancient magic, Vegeta's royal Saiyan techniques, Cooler's precision attacks, all flowing together seamlessly. By the time the chamber door reopened, exactly 1 day after he'd entered, Goku had achieved something unprecedented, perfect soul fusion with 9 distinct personalities. The scene that greeted Goku upon emerging from the hyperbolic time chamber was not what he expected. The lookout was damaged, with sections of tile missing and pillars cracked. The Z fighters gathered there looked battle-worn and grim. "Dad!" Gohan rushed forward, embracing him tightly. "You're back. What happened?" Goku asked, immediately assessing the situation with Cooler's analytical precision while maintaining his core warmth. Piccolo stepped forward. "Cell found the androids. He's achieved his perfect form. How bad is it? Goku inquired, already extending his senses to locate Cell's energy signature. Worse than we imagined, Vegeta admitted, his armor cracked and face bruised. We tried to stop him. Failed. Goku detected something different about Vegeta, a new power level that approached Super Saiyan 2, though not quite there. You've been training. In the time chamber, yes. Fat lot of good it did against Perfect Cell. Vegeta studied Goku with keen interest. You look different. I am different, Goku confirmed. Soul fusion was successful. Bulma approached with a scanner, her eyes widening as she took readings. Your neural patterns are completely transformed. The absorbed personalities are still present but integrated somehow. Like instruments in an orchestra, Goku explained, using the metaphor that had come to him during fusion. Fascinating, Siren's voice commented as the crystalline being materialized nearby. You've achieved true soul fusion, faster than I anticipated. Will it be enough against Cell? Krillin asked anxiously. Unknown, Siren admitted. Perfect Cell is an unprecedented entity. His power now rivals cosmic beings. Where is he? Goku asked. Broadcasting on global television, Bulma explained, activating a nearby screen. Making an announcement. The screen showed Cell standing in the middle of a massive tiled platform surrounded by empty desert. His perfect form was humanoid and sleek, with none of the bulky insectoid features of his imperfect state. When he spoke, his voice was cultured, almost pleasant. Attention, people of Earth. I am Cell, the perfect being created by Dr. Gero. In 1 week's time, I will host what I'm calling the Cell Games, a tournament to determine the fate of your planet. The camera panned around the arena Cell had constructed, a perfect square platform with 4 pillars marking the corners. The rules are simple, Cell continued. Defeat me, and Earth survives. Fail, and I will destroy every living thing on this planet. His perfect face smiled. I extend a special invitation to Son Goku, fellow absorber and the only being potentially worthy of challenging perfection. The broadcast ended, leaving the room in silence. All eyes turned to Goku, whose expression remained composed despite the implicit threat. He's calling you out specifically, Tien observed. He wants to absorb me, Goku confirmed, accessing Cell's probable motivations through Cooler's psychological analysis capabilities. Even in his perfect form, he's programmed to complete his mission by adding me to his collection. Can you beat him? Vegeta asked bluntly. Goku considered the question carefully, consulting all 9 perspectives within his integrated consciousness. I don't know, he answered honestly. But I understand him in ways none of you can. Absorber to absorber. The resonance between 2 such beings will be dangerous, Siren warned. Reality itself may warp around your confrontation. All the more reason to contain this to Cell's tournament, Goku decided. 1 week gives us time to prepare. You just spent a year preparing in the time chamber, Krillin pointed out. For soul fusion, yes. Goku smiled confidently. Now I need to train this new integrated consciousness for combat. Chi-Chi, who had been notably silent, finally approached her husband. She studied his face carefully, searching for the man she knew. Goku? Is it really you in there? Goku took her hands gently. More me than I've been since Namek, he assured her. The others are still here, but we're working together now instead of fighting for control. She touched his face, recognizing something in his eyes that had been missing for years, consistency, stability. You seem peaceful. I am, he confirmed. For the first time since this all began, I'm not battling myself anymore. This internal harmony radiated from him like a tangible force, his key signature now consistent rather than fluctuating wildly between different absorbed personalities. The Z fighters sensed it, exchanging hopeful glances. So what's the plan? Gohan asked. We train, Goku replied simply. All of us. Cell may focus on me, but he'll fight anyone who steps into that ring. The World Security Council is mobilizing military forces, Piccolo informed him. They don't trust this to be handled by individuals. Goku accessed Nappa's military strategic knowledge, immediately seeing the flaw. Conventional weapons will only feed his absorption ability. They need to stay back. They won't listen, Bulma said grimly. They're scared. Then we need to convince them. Goku turned to Siren. The Soul Collectors, could they intervene against Cell? The crystalline being's form flickered anxiously. They observed the situation with concern, but direct intervention is complicated. Cell exists in a regulatory gray area, a manufactured absorber rather than a natural one. So we're on our own, Vegeta concluded. We always were, Goku replied with unexpected wisdom, King Piccolo's ancient perspective merging with his own optimism. But that's enough. It's always been enough. The week before the Cell Games passed in focused preparation. Goku divided his time between physical training and refining his control over his newly integrated consciousness. The Soul Fusion had dramatically increased his power level, but more importantly, it had given him unprecedented access to the specialized abilities of all his absorbed personalities. He could now seamlessly shift between fighting styles mid-combat, employ King Piccolo's demon techniques without moral contamination, access Vegeta's Royal Saiyan transformations with perfect control, and utilize Cooler's ruthless precision when necessary, all while maintaining his core identity and values. 3 days before the tournament, the World Security Council requested another meeting. This time, they were more respectful of Goku's capabilities, having witnessed Perfect Cell's power demonstrations on global broadcasts. We're prepared to cooperate with your approach, the chairwoman conceded. But we need to understand your strategy. I'll face Cell directly, Goku explained. Absorber versus absorber. And if you lose? A general asked bluntly. I won't, Goku replied with Vegeta's confidence but his own compassion. But I'm not fighting alone. I have 9 others with me. He didn't elaborate on the Soul Fusion, knowing they wouldn't understand. Instead, he focused on practical matters, advising them to establish evacuation perimeters and medical support rather than offensive military positions. The night before the Cell Games, Goku gathered with family and friends at Capsule Corp for what might be their final meal together. The atmosphere was surprisingly light, not from denial of danger, but from acceptance of what lay ahead. Chi-Chi sat close beside him, more comfortable with this integrated version of her husband than she had been with the fractured personality of recent years. Gohan, now a powerful warrior in his own right, discussed strategy with Piccolo and Krillin. Vegeta stood apart as usual, but his hostility had given way to something approaching respect. Tomorrow will change everything, Bulma observed quietly as she joined Goku on the balcony after dinner. Win or lose? Yes, Goku agreed, gazing at the stars with Cooler's astronomical knowledge identifying constellations he'd never recognized before. But change isn't always bad. What happens if you absorb Cell? She asked the question everyone had been avoiding. I become more complex, he answered honestly. Cell contains DNA from all of us, plus the essences of thousands he's absorbed. Adding him to the integration would be challenging. Could you maintain control? Stay yourself. With Soul Fusion, yes. The others will help contain Cell's consciousness. Goku smiled reassuringly. I'm not afraid of becoming more, Bulma. I've been doing it for years now. And if he absorbs you? She pressed. Goku's expression grew serious. Then Earth loses its greatest defender, and the universe gains its greatest threat. He touched the small device she'd attached to his wrist earlier, a last resort failsafe. That's why. Your contingency plan is so important. The device was Bulma's most sophisticated creation, a self-destruct mechanism keyed to Goku's neural patterns that would activate if his consciousness was subsumed by another. A final safeguard against the catastrophic possibility of Cell absorbing Goku and his 9 integrated souls. Let's hope it never comes to that, Bulma said quietly. It won't, Goku assured her, with more confidence than he truly felt. The Cell Games arena stood isolated in a vast desert, the perfect white platform gleaming under the morning sun. Cell waited at its center, arms crossed and expression serene, as helicopters circled at a safe distance, news crews capturing the event for global broadcast. The Z fighters arrived as a group: Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, Trunks, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha. They landed at the edge of the platform, facing the perfect being who threatened their world. "Welcome," Cell called cheerfully. "Right on time. I was beginning to worry you might not show." Goku stepped forward, his integrated consciousness analyzing Cell from multiple perspectives simultaneously. Vegeta's tactical assessment noted perfect balance and stance. Cooler's analytical mind calculated power levels well beyond Super Saiyan. King Piccolo recognized the faint magical energy emanating from Cell's perfect form. "Let's skip the preliminaries," Goku suggested calmly. "You and me, Cell. Absorber versus absorber." Cell smiled appreciatively. "Direct. I like that." His perfect eyes studied Goku intently. "You've changed since I last saw you. Achieved some sort of integration with your absorbed souls." "Soul fusion," Goku confirmed, seeing no reason to hide it. "Fascinating. Dr. Gero's data didn't predict that possibility." Cell gestured to the arena. "Shall we begin? The rules are simple: victory by surrender, ring out, or absorption." Goku stepped onto the platform, feeling the solid tiles beneath his feet. He centered himself, accessing all 9 perspectives within his integrated consciousness while maintaining his core identity. "Before we start," Cell said conversationally, "I'm curious, how many have you absorbed now?" 9 total, including my original self." "Impressive for an amateur," Cell remarked. "I've absorbed thousands, though most were ordinary humans, barely worth counting. The androids, however." He smiled with genuine pleasure. "They were exquisite additions." "This ends today," Goku said firmly. "One way or another." "Indeed it does." Cell dropped into a perfect fighting stance, one that combined elements from all the Z fighters' styles. Though not in the way you imagine. The battle began with blinding speed, both fighters vanishing from normal human perception. Only the other Z fighters could track their movements as they exchanged hundreds of blows in seconds, testing defenses and adapting to each other's techniques. Goku fought with unprecedented fluidity, shifting between fighting styles mid-sequence. One moment employing Vegeta's Royal Saiyan techniques, the next flowing into King Piccolo's ancient demon style, then incorporating Jinyu's unorthodox movements, all integrated into a seamless whole that kept Cell constantly adjusting. "Remarkable," Cell commented as they broke apart momentarily. "You've truly mastered your absorptions. Dr. Gero would be fascinated." "I'm nothing like what Gero imagined," Goku replied, powering up further. His Super Saiyan aura erupted around him, but unlike before, the multicolored streaks had harmonized into a consistent golden flame with subtle shifting hues, visual evidence of his soul fusion. Cell matched his transformation, his perfect body generating a similar aura. "We're not so different, you and I. Both composite beings, evolving beyond our original design." "The difference is choice," Goku countered, launching back into combat. "My absorbed souls chose integration. Yours had no choice." The battle intensified as both fighters employed increasingly powerful techniques. Cell demonstrated perfect replicas of the Z fighters. Signature moves: Kamehameha, Special Beam Cannon, Gallic Gun, Tri-Beam, often combining them in ways their originators never imagined. Goku responded with his own integrated techniques, attacks that drew from multiple absorbed personalities simultaneously. His Spirit Flash combined King Piccolo's demon energy with Goku's pure ki. His Royal Gallic Hammer merged Vegeta's precision with Nappa's raw power. The arena cracked beneath their power, forcing them to take the battle skyward. Across the desert, reality itself seemed to warp around their confrontation, rocks floating upward, time occasionally skipping or slowing as their power distorted the fabric of spacetime. The resonance Siren warned about, Piccolo observed from the sidelines. Two absorbers at this level of power. Is Dad winning? Gohan asked anxiously. Neither is winning, Vegeta answered grimly. They're too evenly matched. Above the shattered arena, Goku and Cell hovered facing each other, both showing signs of battle damage but neither significantly weakened. This is everything I hoped for, Cell said, genuine excitement in his voice. A true test of perfection. It can't continue, Goku replied seriously. The resonance between us is damaging reality itself. All the more reason to end this properly, with absorption. Cell's tail, which had remained dormant during the battle, suddenly extended and transformed into an absorption funnel similar to his imperfect form. Imagine what we could become together, Son Goku. 9 absorbed souls plus mine, unified in true perfection. That's not going to happen, Goku declared, powering up further. Drawing on the integrated power of all 9 consciousnesses, Goku pushed beyond Super Saiyan into a new transformation, not quite Super Saiyan 2, but something uniquely his own. His aura compressed around his body, becoming more defined, with distinctive colored patterns representing each absorbed personality flowing through the golden energy. Super Saiyan integration, Vegeta whispered from below, recognizing something fundamentally new. Cell's eyes widened slightly. Impressive. But futile. The battle resumed with even greater intensity. Cell's tail lashed out repeatedly, seeking to connect with Goku's flesh to begin the absorption process. Goku evaded with perfect precision, using King Piccolo's spatial awareness and Jinyu's unusual mobility to stay just beyond reach. You can't avoid me forever. Cell taunted, launching a barrage of ki blasts that forced Goku into a defensive pattern. I don't need forever, Goku replied calmly. Just long enough. Inside his integrated consciousness, all 9 personalities worked in perfect harmony to formulate a strategy. King Piccolo's ancient knowledge identified a weakness in Cell's perfect form, the absorption mechanism required momentary vulnerability. Cooler's analytical mind calculated the precise timing needed. Vegeta's battle experience provided the tactical approach. Goku deliberately left an opening in his defense. As expected, Cell immediately capitalized, his tail shooting forward with perfect accuracy toward Goku's chest. At the last possible instant, Goku executed his plan, using instant transmission with Jinyu's body control precision to disappear and reappear with his hand grasping Cell's tail. What? Cell exclaimed, genuinely surprised. My turn, Goku said quietly. Before Cell could retract his tail, Goku channeled a specific energy pattern that King Piccolo had identified, one that reversed the absorption flow. Cell's eyes widened in horror as he felt his own absorption mechanism begin working in reverse. Impossible, he gasped. The absorption funnel is my design, you can't repurpose it. I'm not just Goku anymore, Goku reminded him. I have knowledge from 9 different warriors, including Demon King magic that predates your creation by centuries. The absorption process began, slower than Cell's normal method, more similar to Goku's traditional absorption that required death. Cell fought desperately, trying to pull away, but Goku maintained his grip with Nappa's raw strength. You can't contain me. Cell warned, panic entering his voice for the first time. I am perfection. I contain thousands of souls. And I've achieved soul fusion, Goku countered. 9 personalities working in harmony can contain 1,000 working in chaos. The process accelerated as Goku gained control of the mechanism. Cell's perfect body began to deteriorate, starting with his tail and progressing inward. His essence, a complex mixture of DNA, absorbed humans, and integrated androids, flowed into Goku in a stream of multicolored energy. This isn't defeat, Cell said, his voice growing weaker. This is evolution. We will become something beyond imagination. As the last of Cell's physical form disintegrated, a massive energy surge exploded outward, knocking the observing Z-fighters backward and creating a shockwave visible from space. When the light faded, Goku floated alone above the destroyed arena, surrounded by an aura unlike anything they had ever seen, golden at its core but swirling with countless colors and patterns as Cell's essence integrated with his own. Goku descended slowly to where his friends waited, his expression unnervingly calm. When he touched ground, no one immediately approached, uncertain who or what now stood before them. "Dad?" Gohan finally called hesitantly. Goku turned toward his son, his eyes cycling through different colors before settling back to their normal hue. When he spoke, his voice carried subtle harmonic undertones. "I'm here, Gohan." "Still me?" "And Cell?" Piccolo asked cautiously. "Contained," Goku replied. "For now. The soul fusion is adapting to incorporate his essence." Siren materialized nearby, his crystalline form vibrating with intense energy. "Unprecedented," the interdimensional being observed. "You've absorbed a manufactured absorber containing thousands of integrated essences." "Is he stable?" Vegeta demanded. "Remarkably so," Siren confirmed after studying Goku's energy signature. "The soul fusion is holding, though the integration will take time to fully stabilize." Bulma approached cautiously, scanner in hand. "Your neural patterns are. I don't even have words for this. The complexity is off the charts." Goku smiled, his familiar, warm smile that reassured everyone present. "It's complicated in here," he admitted. "Like having a committee meeting with thousands of attendees. But my core consciousness remains dominant." "For how long?" Vegeta pressed, ever practical. "Indefinitely," Goku answered with confidence. Cell's programming was flawed, he sought to absorb without true integration. "I've achieved what he never could, harmony among absorbed entities." As if to demonstrate, Goku raised his hand and generated a perfect energy sphere that cycled through different techniques: Kamehameha, Special Beam Cannon, Destructo Disc, Final Flash, before dissipating harmlessly. "Complete access to all techniques from all absorbed entities," he explained. "Including those Cell acquired from all of you." The implications were staggering. Goku now possessed the fighting knowledge and techniques of every Z-fighter, plus thousands of others Cell had absorbed, all integrated through soul fusion into a harmonious whole. "What happens now?" Krillin asked the question everyone was thinking. Goku looked up at the sky, where the spatial distortions from their battle were gradually stabilizing. "Now I learn to control this new level of integration. The power Cell added is significant." "An understatement," Siren commented. "You now rank among the most powerful beings in the multiverse." "With great power comes great scrutiny," a new voice announced. The air rippled as three figures materialized, humanoid in general shape but with impossible geometries and bodies composed of shifting light patterns. The Soul Collectors had arrived. Son Goku, the central figure, addressed him in a voice that seemed to bypass ears and speak directly to consciousness. "Your absorption abilities have evolved beyond anticipated parameters." "I've maintained control," Goku replied calmly. "The soul fusion holds. For now," another collector stated. "But the integration of a manufactured absorber creates instabilities we cannot ignore." "What do you want?" Vegeta demanded, stepping protectively toward Goku despite their complicated history. "Observation. Assessment. Potentially, intervention." The lead collector studied Goku with senses beyond normal perception. "You represent both remarkable achievement and existential risk." "I'm not a threat," Goku insisted. "All absorbers are potential threats," the third collector countered. "Your kind can destabilize reality itself when sufficient power concentrates in a single consciousness." Siren moved between Goku and the collectors. "He has demonstrated exceptional control. The soul fusion technique has succeeded beyond expectations." The collectors conferred among themselves in a language of light and geometry impossible for humans to comprehend. Finally, the lead collector addressed Goku again. You will be permitted to maintain your current integration, under observation. Any signs of instability will require immediate intervention. Understood, Goku agreed, recognizing the fairness of their position. As suddenly as they had appeared, the soul collectors vanished, leaving only Siren behind. The crystalline being's form seemed diminished somehow. I may have overstepped my observer status, Siren admitted. The collectors rarely show leniency. Thank you for defending me, Goku said sincerely. Your case is unique in my millions of years of observation. Siren's form began to fade. I must report to my own collective. Your integration process will be challenging. Cell's consciousness contains fragments that will resist harmony. I'll manage, Goku assured him. As Siren vanished completely, Goku turned back to his friends and family. Chi-Chi approached slowly, searching his face for the man she loved amid the composite being he had become. Goku, she whispered. Are you still in there? He took her hands gently, his touch familiar despite the immense power now contained within him. I'm still me, Chi-Chi, always will be. Just, with a much larger family inside now. She smiled tearfully, recognizing the truth in his words. Whatever else had changed, his love for her remained constant, perhaps the only truly unchangeable aspect of his increasingly complex existence. So that's it? Krillin asked. Cell's gone, absorbed into Goku. Not gone, Goku corrected. Transformed. Integrated. His power and knowledge now serve a different purpose. What will you do with all that power? Vegeta asked, the question carrying both curiosity and concern. Goku looked around at the assembled fighters, his friends, family, and former enemies now united. The same thing I've always done, he answered simply. Protect Earth. Grow stronger. And hopefully. He smiled. Find worthy opponents who don't need to be absorbed. The group laughed, tension breaking. As they prepared to return home, Goku gazed up at the sky where the soul collectors had vanished. He knew this wasn't the end of his journey, but merely the beginning of a new chapter. With Cell's essence integrated into his soul fusion, his evolution had reached an unprecedented level. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whether cosmic threats or the daily struggle to maintain his core identity amid thousands of absorbed personalities, Goku faced the future with confidence. He was no longer just a scion, no longer just a defender of Earth. He had become something new, the perfect integration of countless souls united in purpose. The sun set over the destroyed Cell Games arena as they flew home together, casting long shadows across the desert, one shadow for each fighter except Goku, whose shadow seemed to shift and change, containing multitudes within its singular form. Chapter 3, The Soul Within. 5 years passed since the Cell Games. 5 years since Goku had absorbed the perfect being and the thousands of souls contained within him. 5 years of learning to integrate an unprecedented number of consciousnesses into a unified whole. Goku sat cross-legged on a mountain peak, eyes closed as snow fell gently around him. His breathing remained steady despite the sub-zero temperature, his ki naturally regulating his body heat. Within his mindscape, he navigated the vast collective of absorbed souls with practiced ease. What had once been a simple dojo with 9 distinct areas had evolved into an entire mental universe, regions representing different absorbed personalities extending in all directions. The thousands of human essences Cell had consumed existed as a galaxy of smaller consciousnesses, each maintaining individuality while contributing to the collective. At the center remained Goku's core identity, stronger now, more defined, the undisputed center of this internal cosmos. The original 9 absorbed warriors functioned as administrators, helping to organize and integrate the newer additions. Time to go home, Goku murmured, opening his eyes. The summit of Mount Paozu glittered with fresh snow under the morning sun. He stood, stretching muscles that hadn't moved in 3 days of deep meditation. These extended sessions had become necessary to maintain harmony among his countless absorbed entities, a form of internal housekeeping that prevented chaos from developing. With a subtle thought, he activated instant transmission and materialized in his front yard. The modest house had been expanded over the years to accommodate their changing family. Goten, now 4 years old, played in the yard under Chi-Chi's watchful eye. "Daddy," the boy squealed, launching himself at Goku with impressive speed for his age. Goku caught his youngest son, swinging him into the air. "Hey, little warrior. Been training while I was gone?" "Every day," Goten declared proudly. "Gohan showed me a new kick." Chi-Chi approached with a smile that still carried hints of worry whenever Goku returned from his meditation retreats. "Welcome back. How was it this time?" "Better," Goku replied, giving her a gentle kiss. "The integration stabilizes more each year." She studied his face carefully, having learned to recognize subtle signs of which personalities might be more dominant on any given day. Today, she saw mostly her husband, the warm eyes, the relaxed smile. Only the slightly perfect posture betrayed Cell's lingering influence. "Good. Dinner's almost ready." She took Goten from his arms. "Gohan's coming over with Videl later." Goku smiled broadly. His older son had grown into a remarkable young man, powerful, intelligent, and now engaged to the daughter of the world's most famous fraud. "Great. I'm starving." Some things never changed, despite the thousands of souls he now contained. Inside their home, evidence of Goku's complex existence could be seen in subtle details: bookshelves lined with advanced scientific texts he could now comprehend thanks to absorbed intelligences, a meditation room with symbols from ancient Namekian traditions, training equipment that would challenge warriors far beyond normal Saiyan limits. As Chi-Chi prepared the final touches for dinner, Goku sensed a familiar energy approaching, Piccolo, moving with deliberate speed toward their home. "We have company," he announced, stepping onto the porch just as the Namekian landed. "Goku," Piccolo greeted with a nod. "We need to talk." "Problem?" "Potentially." Piccolo glanced toward the house. "Privately." They flew to a nearby clearing, one they'd used for sparring sessions over the years. Piccolo didn't waste time once they landed. "The Supreme Kai contacted me. There's unusual activity in Otherworld, souls disappearing, reality barriers thinning." Goku's expression grew serious, his posture shifting subtly as strategic personalities moved forward in his consciousness. "Connected to the soul collectors?" "Unknown," Piccolo replied. "But they're concerned it might relate to you." "Me? Why?" "Your unprecedented absorption of Cell created what they call a reality anchor point, a concentration of souls that draws certain cosmic forces." Piccolo studied him carefully. "Have you noticed anything unusual during your meditations?" Goku considered the question, consulting internally with his more perceptive absorbed entities. Cooler's analytical mind recalled subtle anomalies during recent integrations, whispers at the edges of perception, shadows moving between conscious thoughts. "Maybe," he admitted. "Something's been watching. Probing the collective." "That confirms their suspicions." Piccolo crossed his arms. "The Supreme Kai believes an ancient entity called Moros might be attempting to reach our dimension through you." "Moros?" The name triggered recognition among several of his absorbed personalities. King Piccolo's ancient knowledge supplied fragments of legend, a being who fed on souls, who existed between dimensions, who had once nearly consumed entire galaxies before being banished. "I've heard that name," Goku said slowly. "In legends from King Piccolo's memories. The Supreme Kai calls him the Soul Eater. A being who consumes consciousness itself." Piccolo's expression darkened. "And apparently, you're the perfect conduit for his return." Within Goku's mindscape, alarm spread through the collective. The thousands of integrated souls stirred anxiously, creating ripples of concern that threatened the carefully maintained harmony. "Calm," Goku directed inwardly, stabilizing the collective through sheer will. To Piccolo, he asked, "What does the Supreme Kai suggest?" "A meeting. Tomorrow at the lookout. All the Z fighters, plus some cosmic representatives. The soul collectors?" "Probably." Piccolo studied him with concern. "Are you still stable? With all those souls?" Goku nodded. "The soul fusion holds. 5 years of refinement has made the integration almost seamless." He smiled reassuringly. "I'm still me, Piccolo. Just with a really crowded internal committee. Let's hope it stays that way." Piccolo turned to leave, then paused. "One more thing, Vegeta's been acting strange lately. More withdrawn, having nightmares. Bulma's worried." "I'll talk to him," Goku promised. After Piccolo departed, Goku remained in the clearing, closing his eyes to check his internal harmony. The news about Moros had disturbed the collective, particularly the ancient personalities who recognized the name. "What do you know?" he asked King Piccolo's essence directly. The Demon King's presence materialized in Goku's mindscape, now fully integrated yet distinct. "Moros existed before my time, but stories passed through Namekian mystic tradition speak of a consciousness that feeds on other consciousnesses, not absorbing as you do, but consuming, leaving nothing behind." "A true soul eater," Goku murmured. "Yes. And if he's found you, with your thousands of integrated souls, you would be the feast of millennia." This sobering thought accompanied Goku as he returned home, maintaining an outwardly cheerful demeanor for his family while internally organizing defenses against an enemy he couldn't yet see or touch. The lookout buzzed with tension as Earth's defenders gathered the next day. Goku arrived with Gohan and Goten, immediately noting the cosmic visitors already present, not just the soul collectors with their impossible geometries, but representatives from otherworld, including a purple-skinned being Goku recognized as the Supreme Kai. "Son Goku," the Supreme Kai greeted formally. "At last we meet in person rather than by reputation." "Supreme Kai," Goku replied with equal formality, King Piccolo's diplomatic knowledge supplying the appropriate etiquette. "I understand you have concerns." "About me?" "Not you specifically," the deity clarified. "But what you represent, a concentration of souls unprecedented in cosmic history. You've become a beacon across dimensional barriers." Vegeta arrived with Bulma and young Trunks, the prince looking uncharacteristically haggard. Dark circles underlined his eyes, and his normally perfect posture showed signs of fatigue. "Vegeta," Goku greeted, immediately assessing his old rival's condition with cooler's precision. "You look terrible." "Your concern is noted and ignored," Vegeta replied dryly, but without his usual bite. Bulma approached while Trunks ran off to play with Goten. "He's been having nightmares," she confirmed quietly. "Waking up screaming about something eating his soul." This detail sent a chill through Goku's collective consciousness. "When did they start?" "About 3 months ago," she said. "Getting worse every week." The timeline aligned perfectly with the anomalies Goku had noticed during his meditations. Before he could probe further, Dend called the gathering to order. "Thank you all for coming," the young guardian began. "We face a potential threat that transcends normal dangers." The Supreme Kai stepped forward. "An ancient entity known as Moros is attempting to breach dimensional barriers. We believe he's targeting Earth specifically because of..." He gestured toward Goku, "this unprecedented soul collective. Moros feeds on consciousness itself," added the lead soul collector, its light form shifting in complex patterns. "Your absorption abilities created a concentration of souls that acts as a beacon to him." "Why now?" Piccolo asked the obvious question. "It's been 5 years since Goku absorbed Cell. The integration has reached critical harmony," another collector explained. "When Goku first absorbed Cell, the thousands of souls were chaotic, dissonant. Now they've achieved a level of integration that resonates across dimensional barriers. So this is my fault," Goku concluded. "Not fault," the Supreme Kai corrected. "Circumstance. Your abilities evolved naturally," and you've maintained remarkable stability despite the complexity of your integration. What exactly is the danger? Krillin asked practically. If Moro's breaches our dimension, the lead collector explained, he will target Son Goku first, attempting to consume the entire Soul Collective. If successful, he would gain power sufficient to devour consciousness across galaxies. A sobering silence fell over the gathering. How do we stop him? Gohan finally asked. The cosmic representatives exchanged uncomfortable glances. There are two options, the Supreme Kai finally said. First, we could attempt to disperse the Soul Collective, essentially undo Goku's integrations, returning the absorbed souls to Otherworld. Would that kill me? Goku asked directly. Almost certainly, the Kai admitted. The absorption has become fundamental to your existence. Then that's not an option, Chi-Chi stated firmly, moving to stand beside her husband. What's the second choice? Confrontation, the lead collector said. When Moro's attempts to breach through, Son Goku could engage him directly within the Soul Collective, a battle of will and consciousness rather than physical force. Fighting him in my mindscape, Goku translated. Yes. With thousands of integrated souls supporting you, you might prevail where cosmic forces previously failed. Vegeta suddenly doubled over, clutching his head with a strangled cry. Bulma rushed to his side as he collapsed to his knees. Vegeta, she cried. What's wrong? He's here. The prince gasped. In my dreams. The Soul Collectors moved instantly, surrounding Vegeta with patterns of light that seemed to stabilize him. The lead collector's form flickered with alarm. Moro's has established a bridgehead, it announced. Using the fragment connection between Vegeta and his absorbed counterpart within Son Goku. What does that mean? Bulma demanded, cradling her husband's head. It means, Goku answered grimly, he's found a back door. Into my Soul Collective. Within Goku's mindscape, alarms resonated through the integrated consciousness. The absorbed Vegeta fragment reported disturbances at the boundaries of his domain, shadows seeping through, whispers becoming voices. We need to act now, the Supreme Kai urged. Moro's moves faster than anticipated. What do I do? Goku asked, maintaining external calm while internally marshalling defenses. Deep meditation, the lead collector instructed. Confront Moro's within your mindscape while we establish dimensional barriers to prevent his full emergence. And Vegeta? Bulma asked anxiously. The connection must be severed, the collector stated. Temporarily. Goku knelt beside his rival, placing a hand on Vegeta's forehead. I need to block the connection between you and your absorbed fragment, he explained gently. It might feel strange. Vegeta managed a weak smirk. Can't be worse than having that thing whispering in my dreams. Using techniques developed during 5 years of soul integration, Goku carefully isolated the resonance between the physical Vegeta and his absorbed counterpart. It wasn't a true separation, that would require extracting the fragment entirely, but a dampening field that would prevent Moro's from using the connection. Vegeta gasped as the connection muted, then relaxed visibly. It's quieter, he murmured. Rest now, Goku told him, standing. To the others, he said, I need a secure place to meditate. This battle could get intense. The hyperbolic time chamber, Piccolo suggested. Time flows differently there. You'll have more opportunity to strategize. The Supreme Kai shook his head. Too isolated from cosmic support. We need to maintain contact during the confrontation. The sacred meditation chamber below the lookout, Den offered. It's connected to the heart of Earth's cosmic energy but accessible to outside influence. The Soul Collectors conferred briefly, then agreed. Suitable. We will establish perimeter defenses while Son Goku confronts Moro's internally. As preparations began, Goku took a moment with his family. He embraced Goten, then Gohan, offering reassuring smiles. I'll be fine, he promised. Just another battle, right? Not like any battle you fought before, Gohan said seriously. Be careful, Dad. Chi-Chi gripped his hands tightly. Come back to me. All of you. Goku smiled at her choice of words, acknowledging that he was no longer just one consciousness but many, and that she accepted all of him. We will, he promised. The meditation chamber beneath the lookout was ancient, predating even Kami's guardianship. Circular in design, with walls inscribed with symbols representing cosmic balance, it hummed with energy that resonated with Earth's core. Goku settled in the center as the Soul Collectors established a perimeter of light geometries around him. The Supreme Kai added his own protections, glowing sigils that floated in the air. We'll maintain connection through these, the Kai explained, placing a crystal before Goku. If Moros begins to overwhelm you, we can intervene, though at great risk. What about the others? Goku asked. Will they be safe if this goes wrong? We've established dimensional buffers, the lead collector assured him. If containment fails, the consequences will be limited to this chamber. A polite lie, Goku realized, accessing Cooler's analytical insight. If Moros consumed his soul collective and breached fully into this dimension, no power would contain him. Ready when you are, Son Goku, the Supreme Kai said formally. Goku closed his eyes, centering himself. I'm ready. As he descended into deep meditation, the external world faded. His consciousness expanded fully into his internal mindscape, the vast cosmos of integrated souls stretching in all directions. Immediately, he sensed the disturbance, a darkness seeping through the boundaries of reality, concentrating around the absorbed Vegeta's domain. Defensive positions, Goku commanded, and the collective responded. The primary absorbed. Personalities, King Piccolo, Raditz, Nappa, the merged Vegeta, Jinyu, Cooler, Slug, and Cell, gathered around him, each radiating power in their unique ways. Beyond them, thousands of integrated consciousnesses organized into patterns established during years of harmonization exercises. He comes, King Piccolo announced, his ancient senses detecting the dimensional breach before the others. The darkness condensed, taking form at the edge of Vegeta's domain, a figure both humanoid and not, with constantly shifting features that borrowed aspects from every consciousness in the collective. When it spoke, its voice resonated with power that predated stars. The Absorber, it said, studying Goku with eyes that contained galaxies. At last. Moros, Goku replied calmly, standing his ground. You're not welcome here. The being laughed, a sound that sent tremors through the mindscape. Welcome. I've been anticipating this meeting for centuries. Ever since I sensed the first stirrings of your unusual ability. This statement caught Goku by surprise. You've been watching me since King Piccolo. Before that, Moros replied, drifting closer despite the defensive barrier maintained by the absorbed personalities. I nudged Dr. Gero toward his android creations. I whispered designs for Cell into his dreams. I've been orchestrating events in your life for decades, Son Goku. The collective stirred with alarm at this revelation. Cell's consciousness particularly resonated with recognition, memories of programming deeper than Gero's conscious design. Why? Goku demanded. To create you, Moros said simply. The perfect vessel. A soul elastic enough to absorb thousands without disintegrating. A consciousness powerful enough to maintain integration across diverse entities. His form expanded slightly. Do you imagine your absorption ability is natural? An accident? It is a rare cosmic gift that appears in precisely one being per galaxy, and I cultivate each one carefully. The implication struck Goku with the force of a physical blow. You created me to be your vessel. Precisely. Moros drifted closer still, the defensive barrier wavering at his approach. Other absorbers failed, their minds fragmented under the strain of multiple consciousnesses. But you, with your pure heart and simple nature, provided the perfect foundation for complexity to build upon. He's lying, King Piccolo snarled. Manipulating you. Am I? Moroz countered smoothly. Ask yourself fragment. Ask why his design incorporated absorption when Jero's previous androids did not. Cell's consciousness stirred uncomfortably. There were parameters in my programming that seemed to come from nowhere. Imperatives beyond Jero's conscious design. You've been manipulated your entire life, Son Goku, Moroz continued. From King Piccolo's attack that first triggered your latent absorption ability, to Cell's creation as your ultimate challenge, all designed to strengthen your capacity as my vessel. Goku maintained his calm center despite the disturbing revelations. Even if that's true, it doesn't change anything. This is my mind, my soul collective. You're not taking it. Taking? Moroz laughed again. No, no. You misunderstand. I'm not here to take, I'm here to join. To be absorbed by you, willingly. This unexpected statement caused confusion throughout the collective. The absorbed personalities exchanged concerned glances. It's a trick, Cooler's analytical mind concluded. No entity surrenders power willingly. Not surrender, Moroz corrected. Evolution. Together, we would transcend the limitations of dimensional existence. Your soul collective would gain my cosmic awareness, my interdimensional abilities. And I would gain your harmony, your integration capabilities. To what end? Goku asked, though part of him already suspected the answer. To absorb consciousness itself, Moroz replied with disturbing honesty. Not just individual souls, but entire planes of existence. We would become the ultimate absorber, a being capable of integrating reality itself. The offer resonated disturbingly with certain aspects of Goku's collective, particularly Cell's perfectionist ambitions and King Piccolo's thirst for power. He felt ripples of temptation moving through integrated souls who found the concept appealing. No, Goku stated firmly, reinforcing his core identity. That's not why I absorb. I never sought this ability, it found me. And I've only used it as necessary, not for power's sake. Noble sentiments, Moroz acknowledged. But irrelevant to cosmic evolution. Your personal morality is a quaint limitation that we would transcend together. As they spoke, Goku noticed subtle changes in the mindscape, darkness seeping through boundaries, shadows extending where none should exist. Moroz wasn't just talking, he was actively infiltrating the collective despite the defenses. Enough, Goku declared, gathering his will. Leave. Now. Or what? Moroz challenged, his form expanding further. You cannot fight me conventionally. I exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. And I've been planning this merger for longer than you've been alive. With shocking speed, Moroz suddenly lunged toward the center of Goku's consciousness, bypassing the defensive ring of absorbed personalities. His form dissolved into shadow tendrils that penetrated deep into the collective, targeting Goku's core identity. The attack was unlike anything Goku had experienced, not physical pain but existential dissolution, his very sense of self beginning to unravel as Moroz attempted to subsume rather than be absorbed. Defend! King Piccolo shouted, rallying the collective. The primary absorbed personalities converged, creating barriers of integrated consciousness around Goku's core identity. Fascinating, Moroz commented as he battled these defenses. True soul fusion. You've exceeded my expectations, Son Goku. Outside in the physical world, Goku's body began to transform, shifting between different appearances as the internal battle affected his external form. One moment displaying Cell's perfect features, the next King Piccolo's demonic countenance, then cycling through other absorbed entities as they engaged in the defense. The Soul Collectors maintained their light geometry barriers while the Supreme Kai monitored with growing concern. The integration is destabilizing, he reported to the others waiting anxiously outside. Moroz is attempting to reverse absorb Goku from within. Inside the mindscape, the battle intensified. Moroz proved devastatingly effective, using the connections between integrated souls as pathways to spread his influence. Wherever his shadow tendrils touched, consciousness began to destabilize, individual souls losing cohesion, memories fragmenting. He's too strong, Raditz admitted as portions of his domain crumbled under Moroz's assault. No, Goku countered, rallying his will. We're stronger together. Full integration now. The thousands of souls in the collective responded, diving deeper into soul fusion than ever before. Instead of maintaining individual domains, they merged into a unified consciousness with Goku at the center, not absorber and absorbed, but a single harmonious entity of unprecedented complexity. This deeper integration caught Moroz by surprise. His shadow tendrils, which had been exploiting gaps between consciousnesses, suddenly found themselves trapped within a unified whole. Impressive adaptation, Moroz acknowledged, shifting strategies. But futile. I've consumed entire civilizations, absorbed consciousnesses beyond your comprehension. But you've always consumed the unwilling, Goku replied, his voice now carrying harmonics of thousands of integrated souls speaking in unison. We choose unity. That makes all the difference. For the first time, uncertainty flickered across Moroz's ever-changing features. The unified collective began pushing back, thousands of wills aligned in perfect harmony forcing Moroz's influence to retreat from the core. You cannot reject me, Moroz insisted, his form condensing as he gathered power. I am already part of you, have been since your ability first manifested. The darkness within your absorption process. That was me, guiding you, shaping you. The revelation should have been devastating, but instead, it offered clarity. Goku suddenly understood the dark impulses he'd struggled with after each absorption, the hunger for more power, the temptation to consume rather than protect. Those hadn't been natural consequences of absorption but Moroz's subtle influence. If you've been part of my absorption ability all along, Goku realized, then you can be removed from it. This statement sent waves of alarm through Moroz's form. Impossible. We are intrinsically linked. Nothing is impossible with sufficient will, Goku replied, drawing on King Piccolo's ancient knowledge of soul mechanics and Cell's perfect understanding of energy patterns. The unified collective began a new process, not fighting Moroz directly but systematically identifying and isolating his influence throughout the integrated consciousness. Everywhere his shadow had touched, they brought light, every corruption he had introduced, they purified. Outside in the physical world, Goku's body underwent dramatic transformations. His muscle mass fluctuated wildly, his hair cycling through different colors and styles, his very cellular structure shifting between human, Saiyan, Namekian, and other absorbed DNA patterns. What's happening to him? Chi-Chi demanded as she watched through the crystal connection maintained by the Supreme Kai. Internal purification, the lead soul collector explained, its impossible geometry shifting with excitement. He's attempting something unprecedented, separating Moroz's influence from his absorption ability. Is that possible? Gohan asked. Unknown, the collector admitted. But if anyone could achieve it, an integrated collective of thousands would have the necessary perspective. Inside the mindscape, the battle had transformed from combat to systematic cleansing. The unified collective moved through itself like an immune system identifying and isolating a virus, separating Moroz's dark influence from the fundamental absorption mechanics. Stop this. Moroz demanded, his form diminishing as his infiltration points were systematically cut off. You need me. Without my influence, your absorption ability may cease entirely. A risk I'm willing to take, Goku replied calmly. Better no absorption than corrupted absorption. As the purification continued, Goku became aware of the Supreme Kai's presence at the edges of his consciousness, not integrated into the collective but observing with cosmic awareness. The separation is working, the deity confirmed. Moroz's influence is becoming distinct from your natural abilities. With this validation, the collective redoubled its efforts. Thousands of integrated consciousnesses working in perfect harmony systematically isolated Moroz's essence, pushing it toward the boundaries of the mindscape. You cannot expel me completely, Moroz insisted as his form condensed further. I exist across multiple dimensions. Part of me will always remain. Perhaps, Goku acknowledged. But not the part that would control us. With a final, concentrated effort, the unified collective pushed Moroza's primary consciousness to the edge of the mindscape, the boundary between Goku's integrated souls and external reality. There, the Soul Collector's dimensional barriers waited, ready to capture the entity. This isn't defeat, Moroz declared as his form began to pass through the boundary. Merely postponement. I've waited eons for the perfect vessel, I can wait longer. Next time, Goku promised, I'll be ready. With those words, the collective delivered a final push that expelled Moroza's primary consciousness from the mindscape. Outside, the Soul Collector's light geometries flared brilliantly as they captured and contained the interdimensional entity. Containment successful, the lead collector announced as Moroza's form struggled within their impossible barriers. He will be returned to the void between dimensions. Inside the mindscape, Goku and the integrated collective assessed the aftermath. The purification had been largely successful, Moroza's corrupting influence removed from their absorption mechanics. But the process had changed them fundamentally. Our integration has evolved, Cell observed as the collective began reforming into individual domains while maintaining their unified connection. We're more truly unified now, King Piccolo added. No longer absorber and absorbed, but a genuine collective consciousness. With you still at the center, Vegeta noted, studying Goku's core identity with newfound respect. Your will held us together when Moroz would have fragmented us. Goku surveyed the transformed mindscape with wonder. Where before he had maintained control through constant effort, now harmony came naturally, thousands of souls existing in balanced integration, each contributing their unique perspective to the whole without fighting for dominance. It's beautiful, he murmured. Outside in the physical chamber, Goku's body finally stabilized, settling into a form recognizably his own but subtly altered. His muscles were more defined, his posture perfect, his features carrying hints of his primary absorbed personalities integrated harmoniously rather than competing for expression. When he opened his eyes, they briefly cycled through different colors before settling into a new shade, still primarily his own warm black but with subtle hints of other hues woven through them. Son Goku, the Supreme Kai inquired cautiously. Are you, yourself? Goku smiled, his familiar, warm smile but with new depth behind it. More myself than ever, he replied, his voice carrying subtle harmonics that suggested thousands speaking as one. We are integrated. Truly integrated. The Soul Collectors studied him with their impossible senses. The collective has achieved perfect harmony, the lead collector announced with something approaching awe. Unprecedented in cosmic history. And Moroz? Piccolo asked, entering the chamber now that the danger had passed. Contained, the Supreme Kai assured him, pointing to a crystalline prison held within the collector's light geometries. He will be returned to the void between dimensions, with new safeguards to prevent future breaches. Goku stood, his movements flowing with perfect grace, no wasted energy, no unnecessary motion. The years of struggling with competing personalities had given way to seamless integration. He revealed something important, Goku told them. My absorption ability wasn't natural, or at least, not entirely. Moroz influenced its development, shaped it toward his purposes. Did you remove that influence completely? The Kai asked with concern. Yes, Goku confirmed. But in doing so, we transformed the ability itself. Meaning? I don't think I'll absorb automatically anymore when I kill an enemy, Goku explained. The compulsion aspect was Moroz's influence. Now, absorption would be a choice, conscious, deliberate. A significant improvement, the lead collector observed. Conscious absorption rather than compulsory. Chi-Chi rushed in, having waited anxiously outside. She stopped short, studying her husband's subtly transformed appearance. Goku? She asked hesitantly. He opened his arms, and she stepped into his embrace. Still me, he assured her. Just more, integrated. Does this mean you won't keep changing personalities? She asked hopefully. The personalities are still there, he explained gently. But now we work together seamlessly instead of competing. No more sudden shifts, no more internal conflicts. She touched his face, recognizing her husband in his eyes despite their subtle change. I think I can live with that. 2 months later, Goku stood atop the lookout, facing Vegeta across the tiled surface. The Saiyan prince had recovered fully from Morosa's influence and had requested this meeting privately. You wanted to see me? Goku asked. Vegeta studied him with intensity. Since the confrontation with Moros, he had been oddly pensive, training alone and speaking little even to Bulma. I've been thinking about what happened, Vegeta finally said. About what you are now. And what am I? Goku asked with genuine curiosity. Something new, Vegeta replied seriously. Neither Saiyan nor human nor anything with a name. A collective consciousness housed in a physical form, thousands of souls in perfect harmony. Does that bother you? Vegeta considered the question carefully. It should. My pride as a Saiyan prince should be offended by your transcendence of our racial limitations. His expression softened slightly. But I find myself curious instead. About what? About whether what you've achieved represents an evolutionary step. Not just for science, but for consciousness itself. Vegeta's gaze was uncharacteristically philosophical. You're no longer just Kakarot. You're something cosmic now. Goku smiled. I'm still me. Still the same fighter who loves food and family and a good challenge. But also more, Vegeta insisted. I can sense it. We all can. Your key signature has evolved beyond anything recognizable as a single species. It was true. Since the perfect integration, Goku's energy had transformed, no longer purely Saiyan but a harmonic blend of thousands of souls united in perfect balance. Is there a question in there somewhere? Goku asked gently. Vegeta hesitated, then squared his shoulders with characteristic pride. My fragment within you, is it content? Does it remain, me? The question revealed Vegeta's true concern, not jealousy of Goku's evolution but worry about his own partial existence within the collective. Goku closed his eyes briefly, consulting with the Vegeta fragment that had long since integrated fully with his consciousness. He says to tell you he's still the prince of all Saiyans, even within the collective. Goku smiled as he opened his eyes. Some things never change, Vegeta. Relief flickered across the prince's features before his usual scowl returned. Good. I wouldn't want even a fragment of myself becoming soft. Never that, Goku assured him. If anything, your fragment keeps the collective honest, challenges us when we might become complacent. Vegeta nodded, satisfied. After a moment, he asked, will you absorb again? Now that you can choose. Only if absolutely necessary, Goku replied honestly. The collective is complete now. Balanced. Adding more could disrupt that harmony. So the great absorber retires, Vegeta observed with a hint of his old smirk. Not retired, Goku corrected. Just more selective. They stood in companionable silence for a moment, two warriors who had traveled an unprecedented path from enemies to something beyond friendship, a connection that transcended normal relationships, with part of Vegeta literally integrated into Goku's being. Spar. Goku finally suggested, dropping into a fighting stance that flowed with the perfect integration of thousands of martial arts styles. Vegeta's smirk widened into a genuine smile as he mirrored the stance. Always. Years passed, and the world adjusted to the transformed Goku, a being who contained multitudes yet remained fundamentally himself. His integrated consciousness brought unprecedented perspective to every situation, combining the wisdom of ancient entities like King Piccolo with the analytical precision of Cooler and the tactical brilliance of Vegeta. The Z fighters continued to defend Earth, with Goku serving more as mentor than primary warrior, guiding Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and the others to develop their own unique potential rather than relying on his cosmic power. The Soul Collectors maintained periodic contact, studying the harmonic integration with fascination. What had begun as a dangerous anomaly had evolved into something they considered a potential future path for consciousness itself, multiple entities existing in perfect balance rather than isolation. The Supreme Kai occasionally consulted Goku on cosmic matters, finding the integrated perspective valuable for understanding multidimensional problems that single consciousnesses struggled to comprehend. On a perfect spring day, Goku sat beneath the ancient tree on Mount Paozu where his journey had begun decades earlier. Chi-Chi rested beside him, her head on his shoulder as they watched their grandchildren play in the distance, Gohan and Vidal's daughter Pan sparring enthusiastically with Goten's young son. Happy? Chi-Chi asked, looking up at her husband, still youthful despite the decades, a benefit of his scion heritage enhanced by the perfect cellular integration of thousands of DNA patterns. Complete, Goku replied, the word carrying deeper meaning from one who contained multitudes. We found balance. Within his mindscape, thousands of integrated souls existed in harmonic unity, no longer competing fragments but specialized aspects of a collective consciousness. King Piccolo's ancient wisdom, Raditz' scion instincts, Nappa's military discipline, Vegeta's royal pride, Jinyu's adaptability, Cooler's analytical mind, Slug's regenerative knowledge, Cell's perfectionism, and thousands more, all contributing their unique perspectives without disturbing the balance. And at the center, still fundamentally himself despite the integration, remained Goku, the pure-hearted warrior who had transformed absorption from curse to transcendence through sheer force of will and character. He was no longer just a scion, no longer just a defender of Earth. He had become something unprecedented in cosmic history, a harmonic collective of thousands, united in purpose and existence without losing individuality, the perfect integration. As the sun set over Mount Paozu, Goku smiled, one smile containing thousands of souls, yet still unmistakably his own. The end. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video.